You're in limbo. I love that intro.
Oh, no.
Shit. That's fun. Well,
we're all still alive?
I mean, I didn't see anything. I didn't hear any sirens go off. Like,
Yeah, I don't hear anything weird outside, so I think we're okay.
No comets flew by yet or nothing?
Not that I can see from here.
Plenty of fireworks going off in the area.
Tons of fireworks. You think, was that AR-15s, civil unrest, or was it just fireworks?
Well,
we
they
can't
usually
do
try to
fireworks
mix
out here.
Yeah, they try to mix the bullets in with the fireworks. They'll set off the fireworks, and then you'll hear like an Uzi blast, and then more fireworks.
The best is like shooting the firework, and then like with the Uzi, shoot the firework with the gun.
With the fucking, that's how you light the firework, with the gun, right?
Yeah. That would be.
See, I like that.
I like that idea.
That's super badass. You've lit fireworks. Have you ever lit them with a fucking 50 cal from 2 miles away?
Have you ever had a firework go up in your hand? Like the little tiny ones.
No, I shot one of the church ones.
I had an artillery shell fall over and shoot me in the arm, but I've never been like the little ones.
I had a little tiny firecracker blow up in my hand once. I was like, I don't know, 12, maybe 13 years old. I was such a sissy, dude. As soon as the shit blew up in my hand, I hid my hand behind my back and I didn't want to look at it. And my friends were like, let's see your hand, let's see your hand. I was like, no.
I want to know if my fingers are gone.
I couldn't feel it. I couldn't feel it at all. My whole hand
was
up.
I had that same experience. It blew up, but I remember just grabbing my wrist and I was just screaming for a while, and then like all my fingernails were purple from where it just was like pop. And I was like,
that's all I remember was my hand being completely numb.
Yeah, it was somewhere in between excruciating pain and numb. Like it was like, kind of like throbbing into the sensation. So yeah,
like
I wish it was straight numb.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. My hand went straight numb and I couldn't feel it. That's why I didn't want to look at it. I was like, I blew my hand off.
It's not
just one of those little fucking bottle rocket fucking things, eh?
If I don't look at it, it didn't
like
happen.
Black cats?
Yeah,
I remember that, and I was scared shitless because I was staying with my grandmother, and I remember I'm gonna have to explain to my grandmother I blew my hand off.
She's gonna be pissed.
So where'd you get these explosives?
Just fucking homemade fireworks. You could do that.
I heard a couple fireworks before. I don't think people are gonna get too crazy tonight, though.
No, I mean I'm getting fucking crazy.
That's like the last thing you need. Like the year's almost done, and the cops show up and arrest your ass for blowing up fireworks.
They're gonna have to drag me the fuck out of here.
Very on brand for 2020.
Very on brand for 2020.
Well, I mean they're a little late now. It's 1:09 here, so
yeah, there you go. It's 12:09.
So they're starting off the day in 2021.
Where you at, JB?
Virginia.
Virginia, right on. Sarah, where you at? You're in Oklahoma?
Kansas, Oklahoma. I'm like right on the state line.
Okay, right on.
You got LA.
You guys are in the same time zone, though, right?
Me and Joe are.
We're in the same time zone.
They're like middle. I'm east. You're west. So
we've got all covered here. Oh,
yeah, we got North America covered.
We got it.
Cat's got to go. 1 second.
He's like, open the door for me, bitch.
Yeah, I just left mine open,
master.
Because I knew that was going to start. The screaming, the scratching. So I left enough space.
Who's this? Matthew Sundag. Happy New Year,
Oh,
buddy.
Matt he's an easy out.
Word up. What's up, Matthew? That's cool. Happy New Year.
The dude that was on the Easy Out podcast?
No, Matt just watches all the time. He's from around here where I'm at.
Cool. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here, you guys. This is fucking cool. So, no, we're going to talk some shit, as usual. Happy fucking New Year if it's happened to you. If it hasn't, there's still time for the comments to fly by, Christian, and don't lose hope. It's fine.
He's just gonna, if he drops off this time, we're gonna be visit his internet. Or just
Imagine that if his internet just cuts out and it's like, oh fuck.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Like, is he alive?
Fuck.
Today would be one fucked up day for the lights to start flickering. Remember that one day my lights started going out and I was like, bro, if I die on this podcast, at least you're recording it.
Y'all remember the year 2000, and that was going to be just like the be all end all. It's like, fuck, the year 2000.
Oh yeah, the computers wouldn't be able to handle the date change, and like the entire economy was just going to get erased all in one go.
Fucking pile into just a mass depression and fucking God knows what else. All that happened in the year 2000 was the lights flickered a tiny bit, and everybody I was with was like, oh fuck.
Here it goes.
I'm gonna go play video games some more. Bye.
That is some funny ass shit though, right? That when they designed, they spent like all these millions and billions of dollars in designing code and all this shit. And they're like design it up to the year 2000. We don't know what's going to happen after that. We'll figure it out once. We'll figure it out.
Just cross that bridge when we get there. But like cars are going to fly in the year 2000, bro. That's what we know.
Yeah,
right?
they didn't think we would need it anymore.
I'm going to start fucking with people's heads next year. I'm going to be like, guys, I think Nostradamus, he didn't mean 2012. I think he meant 2021. And just start fucking, the world's going to end. Nostradamus really meant 2021. The Mayans meant 2021.
Shit.
There's some cult out there right now that's like recalculating and figuring it out so they can justify why they were wrong again. They're like, I didn't carry this 0.001.
Shit.
The equation was wrong.
We subtracted. We didn't add. God damn it.
Whoops.
So 2021's the year to drink the bleach or the Kool-Aid.
Going for it. Javex milkshake, buddy.
I'm bringing in the year with a Mexican Coca-Cola, man.
Cheers. I got a
Coffee.
fake beer. Sarah was having her wine earlier.
I finished that wine and I don't have anything to drink now. There's like a little bit in the bottom of the glass, but
You should ring the service bell.
Yeah,
I wish.
Refill, like that.
Wouldn't
Have
that be
that light
great?
flashing.
And see, I don't even live like the place I live is so small that we don't even have like Uber Eats and shit. Or I can't just be like, hey, bring me booze.
You guys have dial liquor there? You can just fucking call someone, they bring you booze?
No, we don't.
I mean, sorry. We established that, but other places have that?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
There's a service called Drizzly. You can order whatever you want off their website and they just bring it to your house, but they don't come out here.
Really? Anything?
The liquor stores in New York and in LA, they all deliver. Like they have like their own little guy that'll like go deliver the liquor if you order it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think we have something like that here too, but it's just fucking stupid expensive.
I
Yeah.
don't think you can get away with that here. There might be something going, but yeah, this is one of those states that isn't too friendly with that stuff.
This is a dry
You want to know
state.
something funny? You want to know something funny about my town? As soon as the
Commonwealth.
COVID happened, they closed all the restaurants, but then they were like, all right, but they can do takeout, right? So they let the restaurants locally here do takeout. And where I live, it's called SoCal Wine Country because they have all the wineries here. So they were kind of friendly towards drinking. So they were like, all right, well, they'll do takeout drinks. Let them do takeout drinks. And then the town was like, takeout drinks seem to be working great. Maybe we'll just let them do takeout drinks forever. And now all the restaurants, all the wineries can do takeout drinks legally.
That's what they did here too. Like as soon as I could go get like a giant margarita and bring it home with me, I was like, I'm never going out to eat again.
So did they like just hand you a fucking margarita in a margarita glass and say, have
No,
fun?
it's in like a styrofoam cup,
Okay.
but it's like a big 44-ounce cup full of margarita.
Now here they just kept they kept the ABC stores open as necessity here. So
Okay.
I think that was the way they dealt with it.
I just heard some country just closed the liquor stores. I just
Oh no,
no.
yeah.
that's gonna be bad.
What country was it? I read it in the news yesterday, actually. But it was like the only country with the balls big enough to close liquor stores, bro.
Oh, man.
And you think like there's going to be like pandemic bootleggers coming out of it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like be cooking it up in their bathtub again.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I forgot
It
what
could be,
country.
they sell like those microbrew kits and shit like that now. Like
Yeah.
they'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
That's true. With the internet, you could almost be making your own liquor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can. Easily. 100%. 100%. You can do whatever you want. Tub,
You dedicate a
toilet
room,
wine,
you got a
shit.
microbrewery.
Yeah. just
I think it
one
would take
room.
a lot.
No, man. I've seen guys make their wine with like all they have is like one jug and a fucking clear tube, and away you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Buy the kit at the wine kit store, and away you are. It's good shit.
It's not quite as good, but it's a lot stronger usually.
It's fucking
Oh,
potent.
Oh
Super
yeah,
potent.
people that
That
make wine
one
in
brew.
like their garages, bro. That shit's like you might as well be halfway to hard liquor.
That's right. It's basically moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. Pretty close.
Made some Merlot in the toilet. That was from some movie. Let's Go to Prison.
Oh,
let's go
yeah.
to prison.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. The toilet wine. That's hilarious.
In Spain, they drink this. You guys are probably going to think it's disgusting. You might have heard of it. But in Spain, they got this wine drink that it's actually, I'm not a wine drinker, but I love this one fucking drink. I mean, it was like my touring drink because it
Okay.
had enough caffeine to not make me sleepy, but enough wine to just buzz you. And it was Coca-Cola with wine.
Oh wow.
That was your drink.
What kind of wine
you
though?
You cut it with Coca-Cola. It's called a calimocho.
And that's the thing, hey?
Calimocho.
That's crazy.
I think it depends on what kind of wine it is. I don't know.
With shit like that, you could cut it with cheap ass
Yeah.
wine, you know?
Yeah,
What would
get
you
some
do with,
stuff in a
like,
box from the gas station.
You're not gonna want to put anything into it. But it kind of comes from, it's like a cheap sangria. That's why the Spanish people kind of took on and
Yeah.
invented that. Because sangria is basically like sugars from fruits and sweet stuff with wine, right?
Mm-hmm.
But somewhere along the line in the ghettos of Spain, they were like, Coca-Cola and wine, it's good.
That's so fucking funny. So would that be like red wine, obviously, then? You wouldn't do it with
Yeah.
a white.
That sounds like you got to the end of the night. You were out of everything and you were like, what can we mix?
Yeah, that's when you're like, it's wine, right?
This one, we want this.
You grab the wrong bottle. Yeah.
There's a gas station in walking distance. Go grab some box wine and some Coca-Cola, and you're good to go.
There you go.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, in Spain, they like sell it at the festivals, like at the music festivals. If you go, you could buy wine or beer or a calimocho.
Calimocho. That's
Sounds good.
wild. It does sound good. It probably is good. Because wine's pretty bitter. If you had,
Some wines. Some of them are a
I'm not
little sweeter.
I'm not a fucking wine expert.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't get into wine, alcohol. I've got kind of put off alcohol, so it
I just
all
like this one. That's it. I don't want any other wine except for the one that I like. That's it.
What is the one you like called?
It's Stella Rosa. It's
Okay.
like sweeter though. It's not all. I worked in a restaurant. We would do those wine tastings, and I thought it was all always disgusting. But this is good.
It's good stuff. Fair enough. That's fine. I like it.
They got some pretty fancy wines around here.
Well,
I
you're
couldn't
in like
tell the difference between good wine. Like when I've gone to the local wineries here to do the wine tastings and all that, I'm like, I can't taste a big difference. I don't know.
that's how I feel about it because we've got some wineries here in Virginia too, and we'll go test some, and I'm like, yeah, it tastes like wine.
awesome. You've done it. Yeah.
Tastes like it'll get me drunk. I'm cool.
That's just it. Well, you don't drink wine to get drunk. You pair it with your steak and whatnot.
No.
You just swirl it in your mouth and spit it out.
Pair it with some cheese.
Well, even though I don't drink wine, man, seeing wineries definitely gave me like this fantasy of like owning like a badass fucking winery.
Vineyard.
They're beautiful, dude. They have huge pieces of land.
Yeah.
When the grapes grow, it looks absolutely beautiful, the rows of grapes. And they usually design all of that from like a balcony of the house so that when you come to your balcony, you could see all the rows of grapes. It's badass.
Yeah. Maynard has one over there, doesn't he? In Cali? Or is it Arizona?
In Sedona. Sedona's beautiful. He's got his. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, we've got one around here that's really cool. It's called the Dog and the Oyster. And they have all these rescue greyhounds running around on it. So you might go up here and get some wine, pet some greyhounds.
Can you adopt the greyhound while you're...
That's a cool little blend of like, appeal. Wine, greyhounds. That's interesting.
Yeah, I guess the greyhounds also kind of like help with pest control and stuff. Keep certain animals from coming in and messing with the grapes because they're always running around. And
yeah, we can't have none of these fucking cats running around here thinking they run shit.
Yeah, possums and raccoons and like everything else. Deer.
The deer just eat all the goddamn grapes.
Yeah.
Secret ingredient is the fucking deer that tried to eat half the grapes.
Apothic Red from Cali. Nick Casey said, I don't even know what that is.
It's not bad.
We have that. I've seen that here.
Because I know they got the wineries up north, like by Napa. Napa is up north in Cali.
That's wine county, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They call it down here SoCal wine country.
Okay. That's funny. So, I think we can all collectively agree that 2020 was a gigantic fucking waste of time, mostly.
Yeah.
There was some good
definitely unique, man. It led to some cool stuff, but man, it does feel like there was just so much wasted time for the whole year.
Yeah.
It was cringy. Yeah. 2020 was cringy.
I don't know. I met some cool people in 2020 for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I met you guys. It was 2020. That was awesome. Made some music. Podcast started kicking ass. Shout out to mine and JB's. Oh, no, there it is. Dark Matter will flow right there. There you go. Look at that shirt. That's a nice shirt. That's cool. Me and JB make music together. That's funny.
Oh, right on. That's cool. What kind of shit you guys do together?
What would you call it, JB?
I don't know. There's a little bit of a trip hop vibe in there, a little bit of a groove to it. Kind of like sort of Depeche Mode influenced. It's got like a lot of different influences being dumped into it. Yeah.
Right on, man. Music fucking at least kept me a little sane this year, but damn, man.
Not the usual way. You'd be out doing shows.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if shows will ever come back.
They better.
They might even just evolve, it might be like there might be some new platform like Spotify that's like a live gig thing where you just buy tickets and some band puts on a performance and in their webcam studio or whatever. And yeah.
Some people are doing that now.
But
it's not like a broad spectrum thing though.
Or at least incorporating more of that into shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people go back to real gigs and stuff. Like you're playing on stage and then broadcasting it as well so you can reach a much wider audience.
Yeah.
Hey, Justin, what's up, man?
There you go.
I think definitely it'll evolve into something, but for some reason, just loud PAs that like the low end makes you feel like your heart is going to explode every time the kick drum hits. Yeah. That's like another level of experience that you kind of can't replicate at home. And it has to do mostly because it's like saying this, all right, when you go watch a movie, this is the one thing that music has over movies. If this shit affects the theater and live situation. Is that with a movie, you're getting a recording of the actors on the screen. But with music, the actors are actually there in the theater performing the movie. And on top of that, the PA is this like loud fucking thing that makes you feel like your heart's gonna, pounce out of your chest when the kick drum hits. And it's gotta be some kind of different kind of experience. I mean, at least for me, it does feel like it. Like kids are always gonna gravitate towards some kind of live thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there is something about the bass just like vibrating through your feet, You just
it's just not the same to like not be right there and be watching it on a screen instead.
Yeah, that's why I wonder how many people would. I don't know. I personally, I wouldn't pay for it. I'd rather go see the real thing. It's like, that's
because
so
the
much
whole
that YouTube
is getting pretty good. Like TVs for homes are getting really, really good, and they're getting massive and cheap, and really high definition. But but you're never gonna really have. Are you really gonna have like a badass PA system with a sub at your house? Is everybody gonna have that? I guess if everybody eventually does, maybe then the musical experience may transfer slightly to a TV. But
I don't know though.
Yeah, I mean, some of those systems are getting pretty cheap though. I mean, like some of the Bose systems, for just like a few $100, you can get like a really good bass feel out of it, and it's a very small system, just hooks up to your TV.
But how loud could you get it to go before the neighbors call the cops on you?
That's true.
Yeah, it's true.
Because really, like you're at the limit of where a venue can go as loud as they fucking want. You walk out of there with your ears.
For a week.
And I do have to kind of give a shout out to Justin because the Hikikomori Pact, like back in 2001, 2002-ish, me and him wrote some songs together, and that was originally Hikikomori, which evolved into, me kind of doing it solo. He had his, in his path in life, he's doing some pretty awesome video work. So.
Well, there you go.
Right on. Yo, whose pup is barking? Whose dog's barking?
It's mine.
Not me. No dogs here.
What kind of dog you got, Sarah?
I think that's my rat terrier.
Oh, right on. Is it because he hears you? He's like, yo!
No, she's probably barking at the cat.
Barking at the cat.
She's either barking at the cat or the big dog wants in, and so she's barking at the door because he's scratching at it. I don't know. One of the two.
This cat's out of fucking control. You better handle this.
Not right now.
I'm busy. That's funny. I saw something. I saw a guy post something on Twitter. He said, "What if when venues start opening up again and bringing shows, and they want like proof that you're vaccinated or like proof of a COVID test?"
Ticketmaster was throwing that around.
Were they?
Mm-hmm.
The airlines are definitely throwing that around. Venues will eventually probably. I don't know, man. It's scary because nobody really wants to get the vaccine. I just read today that like there's millions and millions of vaccines and nobody's getting them. And people in hospitals also don't. Not everybody wants to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing just like played out so weird, I mean, it was like they made the vaccine before they tested it, and like they invested billions of dollars to make sure they had it. And then they're like, all right, well, let's go ahead and test it. And it's a big investment. So if it doesn't work out, we're going to lose all this money. And here we are. So, I mean, I hope it all works out. But then we've also got these other strains coming in now from like every direction.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think at some point it's probably going to have to be that, if you want to get back to normal life, then you're going to have your vaccine card or proof of negative card or something.
Yeah. Like, how long would the proof of negative card last?
I would imagine they would first need to have a vaccine that at least gives you protection for a year, at least. I don't know, because right now they really don't know how long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't.
They're like, hey man, you're giving me the shot. How long will this protect me for? I don't know.
Bro, I don't even know if the shot's gonna work. Dude.
Who knows?
Couple
5 years,
days.
10 years, you never know.
20 minutes. I don't
Who
know. Go look at
knows?
that doorknob. See what happens. It's fine. Just take it. We'll see. I'm here for you. We'll find out together.
If you feel sick, just call us and we'll write it down. And then we'll know it's okay.
Yeah. Man, we're gonna
Your
keep
arm
track of
falls
everything.
off. We'll just tell us later.
Tell us later. Is this normal? Oh yeah. It's been
I
happening
mean,
a lot
my
lately.
sister works at a hospital. They asked her, and she didn't want to take the vaccine. But but also somebody that works at a hospital knows how vaccine research goes, and they want to see the studies and what the outcomes of the studies were, and they want to see it for several years. They don't just want to see like 6 months of studies.
Yeah.
But,
I think that's probably like, I worked in a hospital for a long time, and I think that's probably why I'm like, I don't want to do it yet, because I just don't know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
I'd rather like see some other people deal with it first.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people between 30 and 40, 45 aren't really that at high risk,
Yeah.
But I guess, I don't know, eventually, they're going to want everybody to fucking get it.
Mhm.
Eventually, you're going to be like, what do you mean you didn't get it? You didn't get it, you don't care. It's going to be that eventually.
Yeah. It'll be that for sure.
Like 98% of people will have had it at least.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hopefully. Who knows though? We'll see what happens.
Was that you, Joe, that posted that article about the people drinking the bleach? Like, I guess that's the route some people have chosen to go with it.
Probably.
Drink
That
some
sounds like
bleach.
something I'd post. Yeah, that sounds like something I'd post.
I don't know if you
That
posted
would take
that. Somebody
care of it.
posted it.
I don't drink bleach. I just pour it right in my eyes, man.
That's the quickest way in.
The suffering is so much better when you just pour it right in your eyes.
You can really feel it, Javex right to the eyelids.
And you really learn your lesson. Pour some fucking bleach in, I'll never do that again, like Limbo says.
I never do that again. You ever been pepper sprayed or like accidentally pepper sprayed yourself? Anybody?
No, man.
No.
I have not.
JB, tell us the story.
Now we need to know.
I just got this pepper spray and I was just messing around with it, and I like sprayed a little more on my finger, and I just jabbed a little bit to just kind of like get a feel for it. That's all.
Just to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
A story is never good if it starts. I had this pepper spray and I was messing around with it.
I just like there's like, hey, you guys ever been pepper sprayed before?
There's a story coming if it
Myself,
starts
I
like
did to
that.
myself.
I mean, that's like, I know if I cut up jalapenos or something, I don't wash my hands.
Done that.
good
That
enough,
sucks.
Or I forget to wash my hands and you touch your eye. Like, I'll pass on the pepper spray.
I've done that and like touched my face and then like your cheeks burning for like fucking an hour.
Yeah, dude.
I forgot one night and took my contacts out after I had done it.
Oh,
And I just kind of had to go sit down. I was like, throw those away.
I had to go sit down.
Just like you cry, you wipe away the tears, then you cry even more, and then
you
you're
just
trying to wipe
keep
away the
going.
tears.
It goes so much deeper.
Yeah, not fun.
Burns me to my soul.
That's funny. Well, JB, what's that? We're talking about insect bites, and there's like a pain scale.
Oh God.
What was that thing you stepped on that was just like the worst fucking thing that you felt it and you realized later that it was actually you screaming and not someone else?
Well, there's a guy on
there's been a
YouTube
few
that
things.
actually takes all those insects
Yeah.
and he does the whole testing on the pain scale, and he'll let insects bite him.
Coyote something, isn't it?
Oh,
What's his name? My kid watches that all the time.
the Schmidt pain scale. Yeah.
The Schmidt pain scale.
Yeah, that's what it is. I had to look that
But
up
what was
real
that ant you stepped on?
Oh God, it's actually a wasp, but it was a cow ant
Wasps.
or
A
velvet
cow
ant.
Okay.
The
Velvet
Schmidt,
wasp.
The Schmidt pain scale, not to be confused with the Schmuck pain scale.
No, it's just, country life, walking around barefoot, and then the next thing you know, you're screaming.
The fuck was
A
that?
lot of that.
A redneck just chopped off your foot. You didn't even.
That's
Yeah,
what a fucking bear trap is.
Got
Damn it.
pretty hills have eyes out there.
A bear trap. Walked right into a fucking bear trap. Trying to jog.
Yeah, you got all hills have eyes out there.
That's funny.
Yep.
I mean, I live rurally, dude. They got like horse farms around here. I can't even talk shit. When I go to my supermarket, there's dudes with like straight up cowboy boots and like cowboy hats in there and shit.
Oh, that's
man.
like everybody here except for me. Like, there's a horse across the street right now.
I live in like horse property,
Mhm.
middle land over here.
People keep them in their backyards here.
Really?
There was some cowboy that lassoed a thief at Walmart. He like called the police. He's like, "Yeah, I got him tied up to a tree out here," and the person, he just like lassoed his feet.
Awesome.
And I'm like, the dude was like trying to hold on to the tree to get away from the lasso, but it wasn't working.
That don't work.
I used to have to drive my daughter to the daycare every single day, and we used to take like this one route that's got gorgeous houses with like horse property, And the last turn before going to the building where the daycare was in, were these couple of horses that were there, and my daughter would always ask for us to stop to freaking go pet the horses. And I never knew, we didn't know the people there or nothing. And she would always like, "What's the horse's names?" I got so tired of her asking me what the horse's name. I just straight up told her, the horse is named Buttercup. from the, what was the movie, Dazed and Confused? No, Half Baked. I basically I was like, the horse's name is Buttercup.
Yeah, that fucking cop horse, that's right. Oh, fuck, you're a fucking murderer.
Butternuts!
Butternuts, Buttercup. Yeah. Butternuts.
I didn't go butter stuff.
That's not his name. That's hilarious. Fuck, man.
I remember one time I went horse riding. It was like, where was it? Like in Queens, New York, by the airport. They got like these little beaches and bays, and they had like a horse property there where you go and like ride a horse on the beach for like a couple hours and shit. And as soon as I got on that horse, that horse felt my fat ass get on it. He was like, hell no. He laid down right away. That motherfucker.
I can't do this anymore.
He laid down. The owner was like, what the fuck? Come on, get up. The horse was like, hell no. Fat ass off. Eventually he got up. He was like, all right, fine. I'll fucking
Fine.
But he straight up almost quit. He almost quit
Just
on my
quit.
ass as soon as I got on him.
I don't know. Ever since I was a kid, horses always kind of had a thing for me. Like, I mean, as far as like biting me or like bucking me off. Like,
Kicking
first time I
off
ever
you.
got on a horse, I just like went flying through the air.
It was good to know. Definitely not going to a farm with you. Not standing
Right,
near
no.
you by a
Yeah.
horse.
Oh, shit. Oh, it just tells all the other horses, too. It's like, that's that fucking guy. Look at fucking. Oh, you're JB. All right.
All the horses are talking to each other like he looks so kickable.
Give him just fucking one. Just one. Give him.
Dude, it's
you
fun.
fucking want one? Just give him a kick. A little kick. If he
I mean,
rides
you
up
could fucking die if a horse kicks you in the head, right? You could straight up.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's considered decapitation. It's so bad it'll just like separate your spinal cord there, and you're done.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
That
Dude.
fucked. Think about those
Yep.
fucking bull riders too, man. You ever watch that bull riding shit on TV?
Mhm.
That's fucking crazy. You got
Yeah, or
that
even especially those the bull runs and shit too. Those dudes are fucking crazy. It's just
Oh.
like
They're
because I mean,
crazy.
at least you don't think of the bull riders and all them. They're trained, you know, they're practiced. Most of the people running from the bulls are just drunk. They're
You
just
mean
like,
the clowns, like the rink clowns that they have?
Yeah,
well, I
yeah.
mean, and like on
Oh, like
the
in
Like
bull
Japan, like
runs
zoos.
that they
throwing
have,
up the
like where they have the bulls running through the streets and people getting gored, like on every corner.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's some shit. That's in Spain.
Yeah,
That's
Isn't
some.
that Madrid or something?
I mean, I grew up in Venezuela, and in Venezuela, there's a huge Spanish culture there, and they used to take me to the bull rink, like once a month. There was a bull rink that was like 40, 45 minutes from where we lived, and my pops used to go there once in a while. My stepfather used to go there once in a while, and he used to take me to the bull rink. Now, the funniest shit about this is I saw my first concert also at that bull rink, and it was Menudo.
Menudo.
Yo, don't laugh at me. I saw
Ricky
Menudo
Martin.
at school.
That's fine. That's fine.
well, we all had to start somewhere.
How was it?
From what I remember, it sounded like shit, but when you're a kid and it was like fucking thousands of screaming little girls there.
Yeah.
I just remember like where in the bull ring we weren't at the bottom, we weren't at the top, we were like somewhere in the middle, and we were looking straight at the stage. That's really the only memory I have of it. But
I saw Backstreet Boys once.
damn.
Wow.
Talk about screaming girls. It's like my little sister, my mom, my dad, my little sister were supposed to go. I was like, awesome. I'm not fucking going. Perfect, And then my dad ended up bailing. He's like, well, now you got to go because we paid out the ass for these tickets. So fuck. They took like a huge bus to this city and went to this show, and I just had to fucking go. It was crazy.
Your dad was like, when you come back, if your mother tells me you were dancing, I'm gonna kill your ass.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was fine. But I just remember it was just freaking packed. Like the seats were decent, but like the whole bus ride up was just screaming people, just fucking out of control. I was probably the only dude on the bus. I was like, fuck, this is so dumb. Here we go.
Silver linings, maybe? I don't know.
None. I'm a Backstreet Boys fan now. I can bust out some Backstreet Boys. I will.
Yeah, I think my first one was Ninja Turtles on tour.
See, now that's badass.
That would be a good one.
Or like dressed
I'd
up.
go to that now.
Yeah, fuck right.
Yeah.
I go to that now. I have Ninja Turtles pajama pants on right now.
My first actual just bands in general shows, like they were all pretty cool. It was like local punk bands and stuff, like people I was going to like middle school and high school with and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's awesome. Menudo. Who would have thought
the first couple concerts I saw was straight up Latino artists. It was Menudo.
He had some posters.
One other he sang like soap opera songs. I forgot his name. But then I came to the U.S. and my cousin that visited from Poland took me to an Iron Maiden concert, and that shit straight up changed my life forever.
There you go.
After that, it was over. It was like, who were those other fucking sissy ass bands you were taking me to watch over there?
This is the shit I like. Yeah.
Especially Iron Maiden. I don't know what it was. Like the Eddie on the covers, and then maybe because in school they kind of teach you a little bit of history, and Iron Maiden has like this dark historical kind of lyrical thing about their lyrics, and as a kid it kind of makes you go, whoa, it's mysterious and not demonic, but it's innocent enough to kind of get into it when you're like 12 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, it was
now 10-year-old kids listen to Cannibal Corpse, man. I don't know what's wrong with these kids.
Yeah, for me it was a lot I started out, it was all like Michael Jackson, MC Hammer, all that stuff, and then I had this friend, and his older brother had this he had pretty much like every metal band you can imagine like on tape, and he had this whole wall of it, And my friend and I would go in his room and we'd just sit there and listen to tapes. So I mean, you know, I got into like Metallica, Iron Maiden, you know, just like everything, like anything you can imagine, White Snake, like just all down the line. Like,
Well, how old are you, JB?
Right now I'm 40. July I'll be 41. So
you probably made your own tapes then.
oh yeah. Yeah, I mean
that shit. Kids
man,
today are fucking spoiled.
I was 16, 17 before I actually had a CD player, I think.
Yeah, I remember like borrowing tapes from friends and making copies and shit.
Mhm.
For a moment there, I thought I was gonna like hustle like copy tapes at my school. I was like, these little punk
You were the guy.
Iron Maiden. I was like, I'm gonna straight up take my cousin's Maiden tapes, make copies of them, and I'm gonna start pushing them to the kids at school and selling them tapes. That's what I tried to do, but it didn't work. I was the only metalhead there. It was like two other kids. You know, I wasn't selling tapes to nobody.
Yeah, I had a couple friends.
Columbia House had that on lock.
Yeah, a couple of my friends had their own little distros. You know, they would go to shows and buy up a bunch of different local stuff, and then they'd bring it back and like sell it to all the people who'd be interested. You know.
Yeah, I mean, for a while at local shows, that was like the shit. There was either a band member that was into selling like underground tapes, or somebody that was not in a band that was just into the music that had like a little table they would set up at shows. In New York, that was popular.
Yeah.
Because I spent a lot of time at shows in Richmond, so I mean they used to do that there a lot too. It like trickled down from all the big cities.
Yeah, they got. I heard they got a pretty strong hardcore and metal scene in Richmond.
I'm not really up to date on it, honestly. About I'd say 99, 2000, I kind of lost touch with it in general, but yeah.
Well, I don't blame you. I mean, that's when the New Kids on the Block came out, and it changed my life too, JB.
Fucking right. Hanging tough all the time, 24/7.
Hang tough.
Wait.
Nothing goes better than that fucking song ever.
Even better, what was that one band, O-Town?
Well, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Big time. Fucking right.
Making the band.
BTS is like the hot shit now.
That's the hot shit.
Yes, the Korean boy band. Like they took the Koreans took over the boy band shit. We forgot about it, and they were
They've taken it to a whole new level. I mean,
yeah, it's a little like I don't know, it's a little much.
I mean, it's like obsessive. Like, you know, you have like $30,000 worth of action figures and merchandise for each member, you know, of the band type thing.
They're like, we're gonna come out with albums, and then it's like, oh yeah, and the BTS clothing line. Oh, okay, well let's put out the BTS phone. Next thing you know, it'll be like, you want to buy a BTS car?
Yeah.
Where's it going?
I mean, if KFC can get into gaming consoles, BTS can sell cars.
Okay. What is that about?
With the chicken
You
warmer?
haven't seen it? Yeah, it's got a chicken warmer in it.
Yo, I saw that, Sarah. That's fucked up. I couldn't believe it. I was like, isn't like the chicken grease gonna like go through and get on the components of the game?
Okay, so KFC is making like its own like standalone console. It's not like a KFC branded PS5 or something like that.
It's not. It's totally independent. It's like PlayStation and Xbox are gonna have to skip like the next 5 or 6 generations of their consoles to catch back up to this.
Okay.
And there's a chicken warmer in the top. They use
fucking thing I've heard in my life.
the airflow system from the console, like you know how your PlayStation was getting hot as shit and stuff. They use it to keep the chicken warm.
Look, this is what it looks like.
Well, I can't see that.
Here, hang on, I can get it.
Can you see it?
Okay. It looks like a fucking George Foreman grill.
Yeah, and that little square piece in the middle opens up like a drawer, like an air dryer, and you keep the chicken in there.
It was 2020 in a gaming console.
That's right. That's the point.
I don't know if they're mass producing it though. They might just be doing it as like a specialty thing. I don't know if they're mass producing it.
It sounds like such a novelty thing to me. You know? Look at my fucking KFC console. Oh fuck.
it would definitely be something that you might want to buy and like never leave it in a box and don't touch it and see what happens.
Hold on to it, yeah.
It's probably going to be worth 10 times. If they don't do a mass production of it, it'll probably be worth like 10 times what it's worth eventually.
Yeah.
Sometime.
That's true.
I was looking at Tesla stock today and fucking hating my life. Seeing that fucking just that climb from like 2012 all the way to like 2020, just like at a fucking straight. I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, why didn't I fucking put at least high G's into that?
And I mean, and you're thinking of that, looking at it along the entire way. You're like, at any point, you know.
And then you start wondering, it can't keep going up like this. And then, you're like, fucking idiot. Last time you asked yourself that question, you should have put money in.
Yeah. Well, think of it this way. They're probably going to be the first multi-planetary corporation.
Multi-planetary corporation. So they're going to be selling.
That's on the hot tip. Apple is going to be competing with Tesla with electric cars. But I mean, people know this, that they've been working towards this for a long fucking time. It's just I guess they had different approach to how to get to a product that's a car. I don't know.
So is that car going to have like a fucking software update every so often?
Definitely the computing of the car, you could probably expect it to be the most badass thing. What people are saying is that what Elon Musk did is unprecedented. It's never been done in like a car company where you basically you're not even he made people love the brand, where usually the car market is so competitive that you got some Chevy people and some Ford people, but there isn't like this intense obsession with everyone that has one. You see what I'm saying? And with Teslas, he managed to get everyone that bought a Tesla to be fucking obsessed with the thing. So they're saying that that Elon Musk did something that Apple was already kind of making people obsessed with their products, but Elon Musk was able to do it with a car, but that he doesn't have the manufacturing power that Apple does. So they might be able to come into the market and actually bring the price of electric cars down by a lot if they do get into the market.
Okay.
That's what people are hoping for.
Wow. That's cool.
Hey man, if it drives us into the future, then great.
Well, the new fucking computers are fucking amazing. I don't know if you guys saw the new M1 Max that they put out.
You showed me that. I think I saw you post that on Twitter.
No, I haven't seen those yet.
Dude, it's fucking bananas. They absolutely blew away any computer. It outdoes any laptop, any desktop. A little 13-inch laptop is outdoing like huge desktops.
Wow. Nice.
And they basically told Intel, we're not going to use your chips because we're having to do redesign techniques around the motherboard because of the product that you offer. We can't just get you to design what we want. They couldn't get Intel to design exactly what they wanted. Mm-hmm. So they were like, we're going to make our own silicone chip. And when they did that, they were able to redesign the motherboards, make everything smaller, and also do without the overheating that happens in most Intel processors. Mm-hmm. So they're like on some other shit where I wouldn't be surprised if it's going to change computing. They're another company where either them or Tesla is going to keep growing. One of them is going to keep growing, and it's going to become to the point where it'll probably be exponentially. Like Tesla is now. If Apple does this with computing, they're going to start growing again like Tesla did.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. Even if you got a little bit of money, throw it in there, man.
Get it going. Good. What's up, Chloe Rain? What's going on? Thank you for being here. Happy New Year, Chloe. I'm sure it's New Year's where you're at. Probably. I wonder, I should have invested in a few things a long time ago, but definitely Tesla would have been one of them.
Yeah, I mean, their stock has been solid as fuck, and the whole time people have been like, buy it, it's going to keep rising, buy it, it's going to keep rising. But I understand people's concern, and the concern isn't so much the product, because it's obvious that people that have Tesla cars are extremely obsessed with the product. But the issue is because Elon is a personal figure, and he himself can affect the market with personal things that he does. People are worried. It isn't like it's not like Microsoft, where like if Bill Gates says something on Twitter, it might affect the stock of the company. But Elon has that kind of power where he could say something and people would want to, like, companies could turn against him, or he was having issues with California for a while, and then he's like, I'm fucking out of here, and he went to Austin, basically.
What was his issue with California?
Because I look at what happened with when he was on Joe Rogan, and he hit the blunt a couple times, and like all of a sudden the stock dropped, and then there was the huge deal about it, and then they had to kind of reprimand him in the company and rein him in a little bit.
Yeah, that's the only thing that probably makes some people skeptical, as like not putting all their stock money into Tesla.
Because it's all like you're saying, it's all on him,
But you are right, though. You make a good point that they're about to be the first interstellar company. But so is Amazon, because Bezos is also with that Blue Moon module that he's pitching. And so Bezos is kind of trying to do the same thing. It's funny that the richest people in the world are basically like, let's get the fuck off this planet.
One thing would be cool, like getting the asteroid mining.
They're like, this planet's fucking broken. The shit just needs blow it up. Let's get off of here and blow it up already.
I was thinking, I think they're trying to also get into asteroid mining, which would be pretty cool too. Apparently, there's this one that's worth like, it's a number that I don't even know what it's called. It's like you go beyond trillions, and then you go some more, and then a little bit more. But it's been like
metal,
floating.
right? It's like a precious metal asteroid or something.
Yeah, well, it's been like floating in between us and Mars, I guess. I think don't quote me on this. This is some layman knowledge, but yeah, it's been floating. It's been like orbiting, and it's been there since like 1865 or something, and it's just swirling around, just waiting for those trillions and trillions. And
Ready? When I read that article, you want to know what went through my head when I read that article?
Oh, you read it? Yeah.
I read it 2 days ago. This is the vision I had in my head when I saw that article. A human on Earth with a huge magnet trying to attract the fucking asteroid and asteroid. We
get it all at once.
The thing comes smashing at us and just destroys the whole planet. Like, we were just trying to mine it.
Just want a little bit, yeah.
We just wanted a little bit. Damn. Why this asteroid gotta take everything so serious?
Jeez. Stuff this asteroid. It's worth like it's like worth $1 billion of our economies or some shit. It's like worth so much money. That's fucking funny.
It was something like that. Yeah, I think I read something like that. That it would.
It's like one little bit of it or something's worth more than the economy.
Yeah.
But it's like fucking huge.
It's worth more than the economy of the entire world, like times 10.
Like the world economy, not just one, like not the American or Canadian or whatever, but like the world's money system.
Some shit like that would make a bunch of dumbass humans try to attract the thing, and then we blow ourselves up trying to attract the fucking metal asteroid.
It's worth 10,000 quadrillion. Like, what does that look like on paper?
That's a lot of zeros, dude.
It's unfathomable.
My small brain can't imagine.
The Rockefellers are drooling right now. That's how.
Yeah, that's right. They'll have it. I need a space crew similar to Armageddon to get up there and fucking do this. Where's Bruce Willis?
You can see guys at a corporate boardroom. Maybe we could attract it somehow, and we'll stop it right before it hits us.
Yeah, we'll catch it in a net. A big fucking net over it. Here it comes. It'll bounce back. It's fine. We'll just get it, and we'll just fucking tap a little bit off, and then bounce it back into space.
Attract it with a magnet, and then use that with that proton accelerator to try to create a black hole and trap it real quick right before it hits us. Lock it in.
We blew ourselves up and threw ourselves in a black hole at the same time.
What the fuck?
When will we learn not to do shit like this?
We should have opened this fucking portal to the nether realm. This is bullshit. Not again.
Yeah, that's why we
2020
can't
all
get
over
Vulcans.
again.
That's why we can't get Vulcans.
That's why we can't get Vulcans yet. That's right. That's exactly why we can't get Vulcans. Jesus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'd
saw
take some
that.
of that.
Dude. Fuck, man. I wish I just had a little chunk of that asteroid, just a little.
Yeah, like have like 40 pounds of it just laying in the back of your yard.
That's even too much. Just like a,
You'd be
Yeah.
good for a while.
just a piece like that, smaller than a baseball, he'd be fucking set. That's ridiculous. Who wants to build a rocket? We need some German engineering. Where's Nick?
That's probably why they're trying to fucking figure out how to put rockets on asteroids. It's not to like save us from an asteroid hitting us.
Oh, it's to get up
No.
Just
there.
fucking grab one and try to bring it in.
Yeah, we're
Just go catch that fucking thing and bring it back here.
we're gonna land this up here in the mountains. Don't worry. Things
We'll
are
just
cool.
sit there. It's fine.
We'll just lower it down gently. It'll be fine.
Just
With a
ease it on
crane.
in.
Yeah. Lower. Good.
Beep,
So-
beep.
Yeah. The total destruction. The Earth's atmosphere can't handle something that large being brought into the fucking. Yeah, that's crazy. We'll see what happens with that. I give it a year and a half. Elon will have something up there, or Bezos will be selling it. Trying to. And
Well,
all these
Elon's
social-
trying to go to Mars, and then Bezos is trying to go to the moon.
Okay, yeah. What's this blue moon deal you're talking about with Bezos? What's the thing? I
It's
haven't
a
heard
blue moon module that he says is something that's expandable, where basically like Lego sets, and he's got like a whole plan where you send one and then you send others, and eventually you have a city. You know,
Okay.
moon. But fuck, man. I mean, think about how much it would take to actually start a civilization. I imagine that most of the money would have to come from mining that planet and bringing whatever you're mining back to Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think in red phosphorus alone, it would probably cover it.
Yeah.
'Cause that's like one of those resources that we're kind of running out of.
What do they use that for?
Well, basically growing crops to feed people, and we've got like between 50 and 100 years left out of the stores that we have on the planet. I mean,
Why
there's
is it
ways
that they
to.
need it?
What's that?
Why is it that they need it? They need it to grow things.
I don't know. It's just like one of the nutrients. Like you get like nitrogen, and then use red phosphorus, and it like I think maybe certain things won't like fruit properly without it. Like it'll just kind of like stunt what the plant does.
Won't grow as plentiful and shit.
Yeah, like you'll have tomato vines that don't have tomatoes or something like that. But we got like 50 to 100 years left. I mean, there's recycling things you can do, but the moon has a ton of it. So
I heard our recycling programs are a fucking disaster.
Mhm.
yeah, most of it blows off into the ocean.
What California was taking all its recyclable shit and sending it to China. But I think about 4 years ago, China put a stop to it. They were like, we can't take your recyclable materials anymore. And basically, they've been trying to deal with it here, but most of it has been winding up in landfills. They don't know. They don't have they don't have the proper recycling resources in America, as fucked up as it sounds, dude. We were sending all of our plastics to China.
That is fucked up.
And a lot of it was just blowing off the ships into the ocean on the way.
Yeah.
Like most of it didn't even make it there.
Yeah, because there was definitely, sea accidents and shit that happened. Yeah.
Huge junk floats. Eh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sustainable human life, that's a whole other fucking issue, bro. Because we really create a lot of garbage. Let's be honest. We create a lot of garbage.
Yeah, man.
And part of it isn't even there's not much that we could do about it because it's the way that society is set up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, once you start having a kid and you're like into diaper land and plastics and they need bottles and you could use glass.
Yeah, fruit snacks. I mean, everything comes in those little packages inside bigger packages, and then you can get like
It's all
family size
packaging.
versions.
It's all fucking packaging.
Yeah.
That's why the other time when we were bullshitting, I still believe that farm life, there's something badass about it, something super cool about it.
Yeah.
You know, like raising your kids on a farm and showing them how plants grow and how animals grow, and you know, that's nature. Yeah. And they'll probably be broke for the rest of their lives because they're not like an accountant or something like that. You know?
I don't know. Farmers make some bank.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
They can.
Like, especially like out here where I'm at, this is all farm country, and the biggest houses in this area, all farmers.
No shit. What are they growing over there?
Wheat, cotton, corn, a lot of corn because of the ethanol plants, just all kinds of stuff.
That's awesome.
Once weed is legal, you know all those farms are going to be growing weed.
If they actually, since you can do like medical in Oklahoma, there are several of them like 30, 40 miles from here.
Yeah.
So they're getting there.
Because a lot of people were, you know, thinking that per square footage, marijuana actually brings in a lot of profit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a lot of work that has to go. It's not obviously, and depending what state you're in, getting rid of it and distributing could be a whole hassle. So it's a whole different thing. But I didn't know that farmers were making bank like that.
For
I
sure,
guess
man.
it's a badass process. Imagine if you got a bunch of land and your process is like to the T and you don't lose money, you probably, I could see how you could make money.
And see, a lot of them, you know, their crops are insured most of the time. So even if it's a bad year or something, then they get that money back.
No shit. I didn't know that crop insurance.
Yeah, crop insurance is a huge thing out here.
Yeah.
And then subsidies too.
Yeah.
So there's so many farm subsidies.
Because if you get, like up here, a big problem was hail. You get these bad fucking hailstorms that completely destroy your fucking crop. You can't do nothing with it. So if all these insurance adjusters come out and they're like, yeah, okay, well, you know, we'll give you this much money for it type thing. Because people need farmers. Like, that's one thing, like, you guys, like, nobody can fucking eat without a farmer, really. At the end of the day, whether you're harvesting fucking bananas or fucking wheat for bread and, you know, whatever you're doing, there's always somebody putting that shit on a truck for you to eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you fly over the U.S., if you've ever flown from New York to L.A., you know that the middle of the country is completely empty of farms.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
like Illinois. Illinois is a lot of really flat farmland. I mean, outside Chicago, like pretty much just as you go out through the state, that's just nothing but flat and farm, like, as far as I can see.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's friggin' tornado land.
It's not that bad. It's just like certain sections. Like where I'm at, there's enough farmland. Like it's all flat. Like you can see everything. Like if there is a tornado, you're not in any danger because you can see exactly where it's going. But like Oklahoma City and stuff like that, it's a lot worse.
Do they have to see it coming? You guys have storm cellars by you?
Everybody has basements.
Yeah.
But you like sit outside and watch the tornado until it turns towards you, and then you go to the basement.
Yeah. Have you ever seen one?
Oh yeah.
See, there you go. I talked to somebody who lives in Oklahoma City. They're like, "No, I've never seen a fucking tornado." It's like, really?
Like it's because like, you know, there's cities, like it's so congested down there, you can't really see anywhere near as much. But out here, you know, there can be a tornado 30 miles away, and you can see it from where you're at.
Fuck. That's cool.
Yeah, I could see how like looking at it at least gives you some sense of safety. Like you're observing it, it's not coming your way, and
like you can see what the path looks like, so you know, like, is there going to be an issue or not? You know whether you need to take cover.
Yeah.
And if it's 30 miles away, then you know it's going to go back up before it gets to you anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. In theory, but they do turn pretty quick, I think.
We had one drop, like we kept watching it rotate, and we were all standing outside, and it just started coming down, and we were like, that's across the street, everybody in. Like, that one wasn't fun, but most of the time you just sit out and watch them.
Man, I accidentally drove through a tornado one time. I was scared.
Accidentally. Was that
Well,
before?
there was a hurricane in the area, and there was like a hurricane in the area, and it was like spinning up, a little bit here and there, and it was like, well, I can make it home. Probably won't be a big deal. So I'm driving down the interstate, and then all of a sudden, it's like my car just gets like hit by this like cloud of like sand and rocks, and like it just kind of like stepped on my car almost is what it felt like. Like it just was like bogged down on it, hit it, and all this like crap was just slamming into it from every direction, and got knocked around a little bit, and then I don't know if I just skimmed it or something, but then I was out the other side and kept driving and made it home.
Fucking drove into a fucking
that was insane. And then I went and looked at the path, and it went right across there, so I was like, yeah, that's definitely what happened.
What are hurricanes like, JB? We don't have hurricanes.
Well, hurricanes are really just kind of like really hard wind.
Yeah.
I mean, tornadoes are more like concentrated.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll blow all kinds of crap over, but like a tornado will like spin up in a spot and just like twist off trees and like just like tunnel through a bunch of stuff and then disappear in comparison. But
yeah,
I guess hurricanes more just like sustained wind that'll just keep blowing until all the trees eventually just start falling over and crushing everything.
The tornado shows up and it's like,
roofs will get messed up.
Yeah, big time. We have tornadoes. Really not hurricanes. Nah. Yeah. No fucking way. But tornadoes for sure. We've had some. I've seen one. I saw one. I was like, Jesus. I was like,
you got tornadoes up there? No shit.
Well, yeah, we're right up the fucking straight up from North Dakota. All sorts of shit blows up.
No shit. I didn't know they went north that far. I didn't know.
Yeah.
That's where Sarah sends all of her tornadoes.
Yeah, that's what
You're welcome.
Like, turn left. Yeah.
Just go.
Come on, just damn it. Again. Yeah, we used to have such fucking crazy storms up here, but now they fucking don't scare me anymore, right? It's all toned down. It's a waste. I love that shit. I love storms. I would just get fucking high as fuck in my car and like go and drive and see where they're coming at. It's like, oh yeah, here we go.
You're like, come at me, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Not afraid of you. Never did catch
I remember my first earthquake in California.
Yeah, see, we don't got that shit either. That's fucking crazy. That shit's scary.
I was out the door. I got my daughter out of her crib, and I was out the door. My neighbors were laughing like, "What are you running for?" I was like, "You guys are fucking psychos over here." Fucking earthquake hits, and you guys are like, "Put the TV on,"
Yeah, we really don't have too many earthquakes here. I mean, we've had a couple really tiny ones, but it's more like you're like, wait a minute, am I moving? Like, what's going on? And then you're like, was that an earthquake? Like nothing too major, like out there, like where the state's like floating away to the ocean.
There was actually one video of a girl that was doing some live YouTube thing of doing her makeup, like through the streaming through a streaming show, and when the earthquake hit, and she was like, she wound up putting the makeup all over her face. That was amazing.
See, we have like ours are little out here too, but it's because of all the fracking and stuff they've been doing.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Is it like big old sinkholes?
Fracking?
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
Well, yeah, because they're splitting into the fucking plates of the earth, mining for what, natural gas and shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're like adding pressure. They're pushing pressure in to get this other gas to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's like some dumb shit. We're like on some dumb shit sometimes. Like, okay, we need energy, we get it, but even that energy, like the best way to explain it is all energy comes from the sun.
Yeah.
All of it. Even like wind energy. Winds are made by the sun.
Yeah.
Tides, tidal energy, turbines in the sea, tidal energy is brought on by the sun and the moon. So everything is kind of coming from the sky, but I don't know. I mean, shit, I guess we're kind of like...
That's free. That doesn't cost anything. That's free. Everybody could have that. Fuck that.
Can't make money.
You can't. Where's the money? Where's the meter? Where's the fucking? You can't make money on free shit. Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, what was it in like 1945? They already had hydrogen cars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and like
the first car that was invented, the Model T, ran on ethanol and gasoline. It wasn't just a gasoline car.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
They've had the technologies for a long time, but I imagine this is probably the cheaper technology that they could make money from, is what it is.
Yeah. But even the first steam engines were literally fucking steam, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
Just water. The fuck.
And even factories used to run from steam-powered machinery.
That's right. So why? I don't know.
We just don't know how to store energy properly yet, is what it is. The problem is we're like, the sun, all this energy, but even like the most powerful Tesla home battery that a lot of the houses near me have them, they can only hold power for like 2 days. The power is only good enough for a couple of days in there.
There you go. Joel says my yard is powered with solar. He has 22 panels. That's
badass. That's a good. We got 15 panels on the roof of this house right here.
So how does that work for you guys? Is it super decent? Like, because you're Cali, you got fucking sun all the time. But how is it?
Yeah, it works good. No, it works good. And in the summertime, it feeds a lot of the power that you need for the air conditioning and shit like that.
That's cool.
But it isn't like this long-term thing that you could save and say, if the power goes out for 3 weeks, we have enough power for 3 weeks. There's no way to like store it like that yet.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Once they figure that out, how to store energy, it might not even be solar power, man. They might get to like, tiny nuclear reactors in every home or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
It's not unfathomable.
Yeah. Then Mike Werner, what's up? Mike brings up a good point. He says, let's not forget about all the things made from crude. Get rid of your mics, monitors, makeup, etc. He's right. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true.
Yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons. If at least the energy source for cars wasn't made from oil, then it was paints. Everything is made from oil.
Yeah.
Paints, clothing. Fuck. It's a lot. But even that energy, even the crude oil that we take out of the ground, that energy was made by the sun, because it took the sun to die off things and to put them in the ground and to, turn them into that.
Yeah. But with solar, with your solar panels, do you notice that much of a difference in your power bill? If you have enough.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. Especially where I live, it's extremely hot in the summertime. In the last house that I was in, especially, it was bad because sometimes in August, September, those were like the 2 hottest months. $600, $700 electric bill is not uncommon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and with solar panels, at least if you have more than 8, then you're probably looking at like 200, 250 a month. If you have 15 or more panels, then you're looking at like $99 a month for your power pretty consistently. And sometimes the power company will try to cut you a deal, like regulate you and say, you just pay this much per month because you're making this much power and putting it back into the system. So they kind of try to cut you a deal where they can still make money, but you're actually feeding all of your own power.
So they're buying your power off of you. By giving you.
Yeah. In California, they got the solar power, figured out pretty good. I mean, all the best solar panel companies are out here. All the best deals on solar panels are in California. Look at that. Joel said his power bill's $35 a month. See? Yeah, you got 22 panels, dude. You're doing good.
That's dope. 35.
Have you seen the panels that Elon Musk designed?
I have the roof panels.
Yeah, those are awesome.
They need to take off. I mean, I had a neighbor that had ordered it, and he put a whole bunch of money into being one of the first houses, but they haven't gotten to it. I don't know if they're rolling it out slow or if the economy's a little fucked right now, so they're like putting a stop to it for now. But the main
instead.
issue that they're having is how to store the power. Because once you have an entire roof, right? Once you have an entire roof that's solar panels, you're going to be not just creating power, but you're going to be creating power to put back into the grid. You're going to be selling power, basically, is what it comes down to. Now, I don't know if California, imagine if every fucking house in California had a roof that was all solar panels. I imagine we could be selling power to places where it rains a lot. We could be selling power to Seattle. We could be selling power to Texas. I don't fucking know. I mean, I don't know what their plan is, but with a house with an entire roof of solar panels, you're making more than enough power than what you need per day. Because unless they figure out how to save it, you see what I'm saying? If they figure out how to save the energy, then you could make it for yourself and then save it and know that you have power stored for years if you want it or something like that.
Yeah.
For now,
it's a ton of waste.
Back to the grid.
And get like 20 of those Tesla batteries.
Yeah.
Then you have it for a few weeks, maybe.
The power only lasts for like 2 days in those batteries. I don't know what it is. It'll get you through like a power shutoff. In California, they have a lot of power shutoffs and shit like that because of winds and all this other shit. California's got a lot of stupid like issues. Like the power company has to shut off power because they haven't maintained electrical lines properly, so they spark fires a lot.
Okay.
So they're like their way of yeah, it's ass backwards. I don't know. It's like why isn't it redesigned or something, Or where there is a lot of forest, put the fucking power lines under the ground. I mean, I don't know what they're really like delaying from doing. And that shit eventually is going to drive a lot of people out of California. People are just going to be like, well, you're going to, I don't live in an area where they shut off power, but if I lived in an area where they shut off power a lot, I'd be fucking pissed, bro.
Yeah, every time you're doing a podcast, you get cut off.
Yeah, I'm sure. Up here, it's always the water, at least in my city, because this fucking city's a shit heap. So water is always just like cut off for like hours at a time. Like it seems like every couple of weeks, there's trucks driving down my street, and it's like, motherfucker, like again. Like one summer, it was off, I think, like 15 times. That might be underestimating. It was a lot. It's fucked up. Because they put money into infrastructure. Nobody puts money back into whatever. They just keep putting band-aids on the problem, right? And those guys make $80 an hour to sit on their fucking ass in a gravel truck and dump it into a hole. So they're laughing. They love it. It's stupid. Stupid.
Yeah, they definitely need to put a lot more money into infrastructure. I mean, we've still got all the places like Flint with
Yeah,
red
well,
pipe.
yeah. I haven't talked about that. That's fucking bullshit. That's disgusting.
In California, the power supply seems like it's about to blow up at any point. Out here, it's the roads.
Oh,
Like,
our roads are awful.
Yeah, ours are like 70% pothole.
Jesus.
If you like to drive with texture, this is a good place to drive.
That's the way to do it.
Yep.
Driving on a fucking rumble strip. Yeah.
That's
much,
what it
yeah.
sounds like. Like the highway right outside my house. It's just all night long. I just hear. It's like, what the fuck?
What is that? Oh.
It's another
I use
truck.
earplugs to sleep. Does anybody else use earplugs to sleep?
No.
Mm-mm.
I use earplugs to sleep. I got used to it from the tour bus. From just touring. There's too many people snoring in the bunk alley. So I would always like put on these sleep sounds like, thunder or rain or like a vacuum or some shit in the background and put on earplugs, and that usually worked well. I'm just used to sleeping with earplugs in. I wake up too easily.
Yeah. Then you're awake, eh? If you wake up once in the night, it's like, oh, I'm fucking awake again. That's my problem.
And I already naturally wake up like 5-6 times throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a panic sleeper, I guess. It's like every time I wake up, it's kind of like an adrenaline rush. It's like, whoa, wide awake. Every little noise. So I probably should start wearing earplugs or something.
I get like an hour at a time, and it's like another 15 minutes, and I got to go back to sleep. And by the end of the night, I'm just like, did I sleep? I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's tough because then your body's not going into REM sleep that much because you're waking up and it takes a long time, Like I remember when I got my back surgery, one of the things that I was told when I woke up was, it took us almost 45 minutes to put your ass to sleep.
That's a lot of fucking anesthesia. Jesus Christ. Nick says, you guys steal my sleep. You're welcome. Happy New Year, Nick. Hope the puppies are well. They had a good time.
Sleep vampires.
Sleep vampires. I steal my own sleep. I don't know. My kid will wake up at for the last 2 nights, he woke up at like 4:30 a.m. on the dot twice. I can't go back to sleep after. Fuck, man.
Yeah, that's gangster. 4:30. That's no remorse.
Ready to go. No
They
mercy.
don't care. Now, mine woke up the other night, and he was just screaming, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I go running in there, and he's like, I love you. Good night. Rolled back over, passed back out like he had never been awake. And I was like,
and you're like, well, I can't freaking go back to sleep that easily.
I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, it scared the shit out of me. So I go back to my room, and I'm just laying there like, what the fuck?
Was that Jack?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man,
my daughter, she's done. She's done. Like, you can't wake her up for nothing. But he's up like 2 or 3 times a night still. But it's always just like, just wanted to say hi, good night. And I'm like,
damn it.
Stop. Like, why are you doing this shit?
It's got to be a boy thing. My daughter definitely, once she's out, she's out. She's like, she'll like sleepwalk. It's that passed out.
Yeah, like my daughter, there's been a couple times like I'll wake up and my daughter's like out on the couch asleep, and I'll wake her up the next morning. I'm like, what were you doing out here? And she's like, how did I get here? I'm like,
what?
Walk, you fucking walk, I guess. I don't know.
You tell me. I was sleeping.
It's like, I don't know how you got here. She'll wake up in my bed and I'm like, what? I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She never even wakes up.
It's hilarious. That guy made me laugh at that bitch head thing he was saying. Was it bitch head?
Yeah.
No, that's just like a kid swear, Mom. Don't try to, that's just a kid swear word.
It's a kid word. No, it's not a kid word. It's a kid bad word. Yeah, it's an everybody bad word. Like, what the fuck?
Bitch head. Made me giggle. Kids and swearing is the funniest fucking thing to me. think it's so funny. Just
Well, I don't have
harsh.
any kids, so I think it's hilarious.
If your cats get spread,
Kids cursing.
I've seen some people bring kids on the road, man, and
yeah,
like everybody else would try to like not curse around them, but the parent was like the most foul-mouthed thing in front of the kid, and it would always be uncomfortable as hell. Like you just said cocksucker and motherfucker in front of your kid like 100 times. Is that okay? Because I mean, that's not how I talk in front of my kids. So when somebody else does that, I'm like, holy shit, is he talking like that in front of his kids? Like he's saying, you can say like shit and things like that, or there are some words you can get away with in front of a kid, and you're not being, this monster technically, But
yeah.
if you're cocksucker, motherfucker, and that piece of shit, if you're like going in deep like that, it's a little scary. But it's amazing how kids know, like, oh, that's some adult shit. It's just they know the line, believe it or not. They themselves know that that's how you behave if you're an adult, and I'm a kid,
Yeah, like I slipped and said fuck in front of Jack one time. He was like 2 and he took off with it from there. And I was like, oh, God damn it. We got to talk about that now.
Don't say it in front of grandma.
Yeah, don't say it.
The worst is like when you got like with my daughter, it was frog. And when she used to say frog, it always sounded like she was saying frog, or something like that. And every time she said frog in public, I'd have to be like, no, she's saying frog. It's not what you think. When you gotta like, stick up for your kid and be like, no, it's not really a curse. She's trying to say this other word.
Mm-hmm.
I know what it sounds like, but it's not that.
Yeah, because then people are like, oh, is he in there like, say shit. Like shit. Like you're teaching your kid how to say it or something.
Now put them together. Shithead. I'm gonna say dick for brains. For brains. Yes. No, not frog. Fuck. Okay.
Teach them to really nail the consonants.
Yeah, you have to like the pronunciation.
Has a proper emphasis.
Yeah, if you gloss
Now, when
over
you
the
say
U, it's
fuck,
okay, but really stick the k.
Yeah, stick the k. Now you're gonna want to come in hard with the F, with the hard fuck, and then end with a sharp K at the end.
This one person, the one person that I'm talking about, I won't give names, but the one person that used to bring their kid on the road a lot. I mean, they were one of the most foul-mouthed people. Like, I mean, it was like every other word was an F-bomb usually when they talked. But I remember that they had this story once, and they were explaining to me how, I talk like this, but, she knows that I'm an adult and this is how I talk, and then she talks differently. And then on one tour, he had come with this story how he caught his daughter totally going off on one of her dolls, just like cursing, like, motherfucker, you blah, 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 piece of shit, cocksucker. Like he caught his daughter yelling like the way he talks at one of the dolls. And he had to correct her and go in there and be like, you can't talk like that just because daddy talks like that.
But dad, you talk like that, yeah.
That's where kids learn it from. That's where we learn our deception from as kids, from our parents, bro. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, psychologists have figured that out. Kids learn we as humans learn how to lie as babies from our parents. Because when you think about honesty and what honesty is and how you learn to be honest, first, you're born honest. You don't know what a lie is until you learn it.
That's right. Yep.
It's interesting, Eventually, kids will probably be so fucking smart. They'll be like 7 years old and like, you don't know shit. I know it all. Come on.
Our oldest son.
I was born honest. What are you trying to teach me this lie shit for? Imagine when we get to that.
Yeah, exactly. Our oldest is he's so friggin' smart, man. Like, you can tell them one thing just in passing. Like the other day, my wife was showing him like the solar system and saying like, okay, this is blah 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 blah, and then like 3 days later, it's He's like, okay, well, yeah, this planet's this, Saturn has this, and we live on Earth. And he started off with saying, "Dad," I was like, "Yes, son. Can I tell you something about the planet we live on?" I was like, "Go for it." And he told me all this shit. I was like, "This is fucking crazy. Like, you're 4, man. What are you doing?" Just they retain everything, and that's just like you're saying. Like they're sponges, and if they retain such negative shit all the time, it's not the best. I thought that was so funny.
At that age, you got a boy. At that age, my daughter was like telling me about Rainbow Dash and shit like that. You know?
Yeah.
Like, Daddy, come on, can you do a story again? Be Rainbow Dash, be Rainbow. And I have to like make believe I'm one of the fucking My Little Ponies.
My Little Ponies. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is Rainbow Dash?
Story, and she'd always want me to be like it's funny the way my daughter is, because she recognized that there's always a good character and a bad character in the movies, or whatever little thing she was into all the time, whether it was a My Little Pony show or a Paw Patrol show or whatever the thing she was into at the time. And then every time we had like playtime, you know, where we're like playing and just taking little dolls and making believe she's this little doll and I'm this little doll, and then we always had to have some kind of conflict. Something bad had to happen. And there was always a bad character. There always had to be somebody that was like, no, that's mine. You can't have it. And hysterical. I don't know how kids actually develop like that, man, but the way that the kids portray story playing in itself, it's amazing, and it's so telling in itself, man, that they know that there's always a good and a bad, that there's always conflict. And even if conflict is peaceful, there's still conflict because not everybody thinks alike and people want different things.
Yeah.
And I'd always have to be the bad guy. It was fun.
Yeah. You know, what's she trying to tell you, right? So.
I always have to be the bad guy.
Yeah. That's funny. Mike brings up a good point too. He says they make you feel stupid with technology. Here, Dad, let me show you.
That is true, though. That is true.
Man, it's crazy when you think about it. Like 100 years ago, like somebody that was a doctor 100 years ago versus somebody that's a doctor today. Just the gap in knowledge, you know, like most people like early 1900s, late 1800s. I mean, maybe middle school kind of level education, but a lot of good like basic survival skills and like whatever they grew up in. But I mean, and just comparatively, like, you know, like a 7-year-old probably is like more educated than most people 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Watching YouTube videos and looking stuff up on Google and finding like all the answers they could ever possibly want.
Yeah. They got a whole fucking endless stream of knowledge everywhere at their fingertips. Constantly. Whole
that brings
dumb shit too, but you know.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It brings its own set of problems, you know, trying to filter through the bombardment.
Yeah.
Find the good stuff within all the garbage. Make sure to not like absorb a bunch of stuff that you don't need.
It's funny because kids usually like stick to the shit that they like. Like if you give them like an iPad and you just let them like go down the YouTube rabbit hole, they usually wind up the YouTube rabbit hole on kids leads them into unwrapping of presents. Believe it or not.
Oh my God.
Okay,
oh man, I
was talking about. See, she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember my friend was telling me about it with his daughter.
Watching like other.
They like to watch other kids play with toys, and like that Ryan kid that made like almost $30 million last year. I hate that kid. I hate that kid so much. I get so tired. See, like we try to do like Blippy and stuff like that, where he's like learning something if he's watching. But somehow he went from Blippy to a video where they were dropping Mentos in Coke. And if I could tell you how many times I've had to clean that up around my house since he found that, like it's But my daughter will sit there and watch other kids play like all the time. Like she doesn't care.
Yeah.
She'll sit there and watch them for hours.
Yeah. My daughter was kind of like digging that whole like unwrapping of the presents, and they play with the toys on YouTube. It's a story. It's like a story play in their head that they're doing. You know, it's kind of like what it goes back
Yeah.
to.
And that's fine, but there's always that fucking thing. Like my kid would watch Ryan's World and all that, and say like, "Oh, Dad, look at that." I'm like, "Yeah, look at that." He's like, "Can we get one of those?" I'm like, "Fuck no." Why not? He's like, "Well, that costs a lot of goddamn money that we don't have. Those people are fucking rich. We don't have that kind of stuff." It's like, "Oh, come on, Dad, just get that, just one. Just get me one of those." You know, it's like, I'm not getting shit. The fucking Ryan's World toys are like $80 for a fucking like whatever
It's
surprise egg bullshit.
Stupid.
It's like, what the fuck are you paying for? You're paying for the brand. He's the kid's Tesla. Ryan can go on there and say, you know,
Damn, these baby
fuck
must.
dude, he's rich. He's gonna have so
Yeah,
much
man,
fucking
that's insane. I mean, they got like 30 million views per video.
Mhm.
per video, dude.
Dude, I'm ready to start unwrapping presents, bro.
Start opening shit right now. This is ridiculous. Have a good night, Mike. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. That was cool. Happy New Year to you.
Isn't that Mike? Yeah, man, do like a gear unboxing show. You know, get some new amps, some new guitars.
Just reach out
I
to
don't
some of
think
these
people. I think you got to do like kid toys.
Nah,
You
yeah.
gotta do kid toys.
Do grown ass kids toys like the new Mac for Christian. I'll fucking check out microphones.
Those dudes get fucking sick amount of plays on YouTube too. The dudes that do like tech reviews and shit like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
But I hate those fucking videos too, because like there's so
But
many
you
people
gotta
trying
know
to do,
shit. You gotta know shit to do
Yeah.
those tech reviews. With the toys,
right. But
you
all I want
Yeah,
a
just be
guy.
like, hey, check out my new Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Hey, look at
win,
that. Yeah.
just win the story. Barbie went to the bar. She didn't have money for drinks. She had to talk to an asshole to get a free drink. Okay.
But there's these guys that go on and they don't know fuck all about what they're trying to review. I was watching some for like a microphone I'm buying that should be here tomorrow, I hope. Yeah. But he's like, so this is the I don't even know what this is, whatever microphone, and I think you plug it in like this, and here's this cable they give you, but you don't even need it, or maybe you do need it. I'm not really sure. I'm just like looking at this microphone. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I don't need anything crazy in depth. I just want to know what it sounds like, what the bare minimum. But
You
at
got
least
a
some-
microphone.
I know I'm getting a better one. I'm upgrading my shit.
All
No,
right.
so crystal clear. I look. I got a new fucking webcam. No one said shit. Sarah said shit. Thank you, Sarah. It's like
You're
getting a
welcome.
haircut. You fucking dicks. I look crystal clear, full fucking stunning HD.
Yeah, we can. I can see the sleep deprived glint in your eyes.
I'm saying I've had like 8 hours sleep in 4 days. I'm fucking good to go. But
I don't think I'm far off from that. Like this has been a weird week.
it's been a weird week. Yeah, it's been a fucking
Like the
weird
week between Christmas and New Year's is weird anyway. Like I don't know how many times this week I've been like, what fucking day is it? Like where am I? What's going on here?
It does feel weird. This holiday kind of felt like, oh, it's a low key holiday, so it's
Yeah.
good. I don't have to expect a lot of like happy holiday from like everybody, you know. And
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't get.
then you're kind of having to explain, you know, the whole how you're doing and all that, which I think most people don't even want to relive 2020. That what they. I think one of the things they said about the 1918-17 pandemic was by the time they came out of it, people were so fucked
Uh-oh.
about it, from having to deal with it, that and from arguing with each other, from fighting with each other, that a lot of them had this mutual understanding of let's just not talk about it anymore.
Yeah, we're all over it. Let's just move on.
Yeah, let's not talk about that last year or the last year and a half or 2 years or whatever it was. It'd be kind of cool if we got back to, you know, doing normal shit and just forgot about everything that happened.
Yeah, Yeah, that would be the best, but I don't know. This fucking thing is gonna hang around for a while.
Microchip. But we'll have the microchip though. That'll be the only difference.
Fucking right. I can't wait. I can't wait to have a microchip. Besides the one I carry in my fucking pants with my phone, you know.
Right.
I fucking hate that shit. I think those people are so fucking stupid, and I'll say those people.
Get one behind the ear.
That's right. I want to. Yeah, if I have to pick where I want to go right here. Fucking bolt. Just fucking infinite knowledge.
I mean, I wish we were really like. It'd be great to say, yeah, they have that already. They don't have that yet. I mean, think about what a Tesla does. Tesla still kill people once in a while. They can't even drive autonomously without having some kind of risk of killing someone. Imagine this little tiny thing maneuvering through your veins, and it's going to know every turn in your vein. And we're not at that level yet, man. You know, it's like cool to think about. You know, it's like, whoa, what if tech is that badass, and they could put this thing inside your body to make you think a certain way, or you would hope that they do it to like fix cancerous cells or something, right? But that would be
just to see what your likes on fucking Amazon are, bro.
Yeah, some nanotech. That would be
shopping
cool.
habits. Fucking
don't kill cancerous cells with it. Like you just want to order something on Amazon.
Right. You just want to know what the algorithm of your life is, man.
Maybe the chip will tell you like if you're too
Okay.
drunk to order something on Amazon.
No, I would never tell you that. You're not
It's like
drunk
2
enough.
o'clock in the morning, and it's like, no, don't do that. You don't need
You
to
would
make
never
that
have a
purchase.
chip.
And basically,
You'd never
yeah,
have a
anything you thought of, you'd be like, "Oh man, I really want to get that," and then all of a sudden it would show up, and you'd be like, "Oh man."
Just link to your bank card. You just like have a thought about. It's like, okay, it's ordered. It's like fuck.
I didn't want one of those.
Yeah, I want that new Mac M1. There it is. Oh man.
Oh, I just manifested this shit. That's amazing. Oh, my bank. Ouch. Oh god, my bank. Yeah.
I definitely want one of those new Macs, bro.
Well, fuck. Let's get Apple on the horn here and just get you to test one, and then they'll say, just keep it for your sweet review, dude. That's how you get that shit.
Fuck.
Start up that YouTube channel.
So, what y'all got planned for this next year?
I'm just trying to stay alive, you know. One more, anyways. If this keeps up, I am going to a fucking bunker. Fuck it.
Building the bunker out back.
You can all come. Yeah, that's right. Well, I'll go to Sarah's bunker. That milk of magnesia shit on Twitter made me just fucking die. That was so
chocolate milk of magnesia. Yeah, delicious.
Here you go, Christian. This
Like
is
a hospital, something like that, bro.
Right?
what's up.
Happy New Year, Christine. Hello.
And hello. Thank you for being here.
We're
Thank you
being
for
idiots. It's almost my New Year, but I mean, it's New Year already. Does it even matter? Does time zones even matter? It's 2021.
We're
right?
fucked either way. Yep. I
Fuck
was
time
asking
zones.
Jay if the Rona's gone, you know, but it's not.
So, if I get in a plane and I fly west and I keep flying west, could I always avoid 2021 forever as long as I keep going west?
Nope, because they're already in 2021 once you get to a certain point.
Catch me around the other side. But I
See,
mean,
now
if on a flat Earth, though, if it was a
I
flat
gotta-
Earth,
I will not talk with fucking flat earthers.
and you know the sun comes in from right to left.
It's always a good excuse for sleeping in late. Like, oh, you always sleep in late. No, I don't. I'm just on Hawaii time.
Yeah. What is time, bro? Like, do you even know what time is? Yeah.
My body's on Hawaii time. I don't know.
What time zone is Hawaii in? Aren't they Pacific?
No, they're another hour behind that, I think.
So they're 3 hours.
If you wake up like at noon LA time, you'd be waking up like 9 a.m., 8 a.m. Hawaii time. It's like 5 hours, I think.
Oh,
Maybe
fuck.
3 to 5 hours. I'm not 100% sure.
It's oh man, I had a customer calling from Hawaii, and it was like 7 o'clock for me and 2 or 3 for them, something like that. So like 4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours. That's interesting.
Okay, so maybe it's like a couple hours from LA, maybe something like that. 2 or 3
probably
hours.
two or
Mm.
3 for me. Nick Casey brings up a very good point. No shared toilets in our bunker. And if Jay were here, we had a whole thing that we were going to air some grievances about the bunker arrangements. But he's not here, so I'll just talk about it. We have lists of demands. I think if we're going to have no
Do I
shared
need to
toilets in
get
our
a pin or what?
no, just this is the one commandment. If we're having no shared toilets in our bunker, granted, fair enough. Good. I'm fine with that. However, there's going to be a rotation for bathroom attendants. Each one of us has to have a shot at being a bathroom attendant. Bi-weekly, maybe once a month. It's like Christian's month, 1 month. Then it can be Sarah's month, and something like that. Now, we'll have a rule. You don't have to wipe the person, but you just have to be there. Just know that they're okay and offer them a towel and shit. That's it. How's that sound? Need a hood vent. Need a vent fan for sure. That'll have to happen. Because you think about the nasty food we'll be eating, that's going to be gross.
Yeah, I don't think I want to play bathroom attendant in that situation. Like,
That's fine.
So can
So
we
you
offer extra voluntary services?
If you want to get that gold star, JV, whatever you got to do, buddy. You'll get a report card at the end of your rotation. And the person with the worst grade at bathroom attendant has to go on raids alone. Okay? So we have to steal some shit from other bunkers. That's all there is to it. JB's got the gear. He had the machete and the mask earlier.
Yeah, I still got the mask.
You still got the there. See, you
Yeah,
can fix it.
I don't know where y'all have been. So.
You know what I saw on the show once? I saw that people for bunkers now are just burying containers, those shipping containers.
shipping containers.
Shipping containers. Yeah.
And they're connecting them, putting like 3 or 4 of them, basically.
That's what
huge,
they did.
put them all in the ground, dirt over them, and they're just connected, basically.
That's it. Those things are only about 3 or 4 grand a piece, so not bad.
Yeah.
You need probably 3, you'd be fine, because you get the big ones. I think are like 50 feet long, maybe. Probably longer than that, 70 feet, but still, that's enough. That's the room.
Yeah, if you're
We
like
each buy our
21,
own
you can take plenty of room.
Sorry. We'll each buy our own shipping container and just sync it and line them up. It'll be like a password system, some sort of intercom. We're really gonna have to tap into this turbine that you got near you. We'll need some power down there.
It's like there's a field right here and a wind farm just a couple miles that way. Like, I'm all set up.
It's
I
not
have a
that much
water well. I'm not like hooked into sewer lines or anything. So
Even better.
running water and everything.
You have a water well?
Mhm.
Right on.
No
water bill. It's great.
Okay, so that saves us drinking urine, which is nice. Our next thing I was worried about. Well, take that off the list. No more drinking urine.
You know that people that got lost at sea survived like that, drinking their own urine?
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
Bunker lemonade.
JB gave it a name.
God damn it. Bunker lemonade. Jesus, that's good.
Lots of glass.
Whew.
Oh, sorry, I don't have enough right now, but I'll be back.
Is that what the bathroom attendants are for? Is to collect the
That's
bunker
right.
lemonade?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want this to turn out.
If things are dogs, you could always be drinking dog piss too,
Yeah, but dog piss isn't sterile like human piss.
I mean, I don't know. Do we know that?
I don't know that. I'm not
Nicole,
an expert.
she knows everything. Is it?
Is dog urine sterile? Can you drink Akita piss?
Do we have to go to Google?
I'm not Googling that. Nicole will tell us if we can drink her dog's pee-pee or not.
She said no clue.
Yeah, right.
Well, we better hit Google while we still can. We must know.
Okay, I got this.
She says, I wouldn't.
The canine urinary bladder is not a sterile environment.
What's it say? What's it say?
It says the canine urinary bladder is not a sterile environment. So there you go.
So it's got a little bit of a bite to it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, so you're saying there's
Lemonade's got some bite.
The shit that I have
Bunker
Googled
lemon.
just in the last couple of weeks because of this show, like my FBI agent is probably like, "What the fuck is she doing?
Everybody has one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has one.
What is she planning over there? That looks really weird."
Hashtag 2020 regrets.
That's the name of the bunker.
That's the first Google search in my history for the new year, so that's great.
You're really just setting the bar right now with what 2021 is going to be like. You're going to be looking up like weird animal facts. It's like, can I actually get away with it if I had to? If I was in a bunker situation, I had like a Noah's Ark thing happening where I could bring one animal. Which one's piss am I drinking? Which one am I making into a fucking coat? And
That'll
which
be
one
like the next
and
Twitter trend where it's like, show me your first searched Google item of 2021. I'm gonna be like, nope.
Can you drink the liquor?
I mean, it's like we have this romanticized version of the bunker, but I think it's going to be like you remember those dudes out in, what was it, like Washington or something, that took over that park building, and they just like hung out in there with their guns and like had a standoff with agents while they like took dumps in buckets.
You mean like Waco?
Like Waco?
Well, no, it wasn't Waco. They're often referred to as the Gravy Seals. Like it was a bunch of like
Militia
America, good old boys, like taking over because they were getting kicked off some land, so they took over some like park property and like hunkered down in the building with their guns and stuff, and they were basically just shitting in buckets and like eating beef jerky.
Didn't was that the guys that like
They
ended
were
the
like, we're
stand?
hard, bro. Look at how tough we are up in here.
Let me see
Shitting in
here.
buckets.
That's what Google's for.
That's so funny. Jay's
Google's
watching.
awesome. YouTube is awesome, man. I mean, YouTube University. You can fucking learn anything you want on YouTube, bro.
YouTube University.
Anything you want. I learned how to change my brake. I mean, my homie kind of taught me. He was like, all right, first you got to take the wheel off, then you got to push back the caliper, and then blah, 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 blah. But from there, I had to look up how to do it on my actual model car on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
And I just changed my own brakes now. I changed my own oil. I don't even fucking take it to the shop. It's like, fuck that. I'd rather hang out and do it myself.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm with you, man. The other day, I actually took apart a washing machine and I like changed out the clutch and like a few other components, and I actually got it working and spinning again. So I'm like, yeah, I just watched some YouTube videos and just followed the instructions. And
I think I just heard a shotgun. Somebody out there like, woohoo! 'Cause it's about to be midnight over here, so I'm sure there'll be a couple of shotgun shots.
oh, but yeah, I'm looking up. It was the Bundy standoff, from Clive and Bundy.
Clive and Bundy. Nice. Happy New Year, Christian. There you go. Let's just.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Happy New Year.
Yeah, they're shooting guns. They're definitely shooting guns.
Shooting guns right
There
now.
we go. Yeah, they won't be able to tell between this and a bottle rocket. It's like pew pew, bam blam. Yeah, nobody will notice.
Jay brings up a good
They're like,
point.
kill this fucking year. Just shoot it dead already.
Just shoot. Take that, 2020. Pew pew. You're gonna wish you never fucked with me. How do I know I didn't think about shooting the Rona? Look out. I got him. Yeah, Jay, you have to think about our bunker as like a video game where each person has a different skill set. So I'd be like a brawler, and I would offer some sort of. I could eat a lot. That's a skill or something. you know, JB would be. You play RPGs. JB would have some skills.
Jesus
etc.
Christ! My fucking look, my Apple
Burn
Watch.
yourself.
My Apple Watch is already on some shit. What did it pop up? It's like some like January challenge. Are you serious?
The bunker.
What is the challenge?
Hold on, man. Why is my Apple Watch starting to bug out at midnight?
Here we go.
Oh, yeah. It's 2001 all over again.
Look, it says. Look at what this shit says.
It's
It went
upside
away,
down.
motherfucker. So you see how
I just see your wrist hairs. Like,
It's upside down. I can't read it.
Some text. Yeah.
I see 12 o'clock.
Focus on your move rings this month.
What the fuck is a move ring?
It's activity.
In other words, like get up and
Activity.
move around more.
It's basically telling me, look, man, you've probably been sitting for way too long right now. That's what it was.
Yeah,
But
we got a
January challenge, motherfucker. My watch is like making me
It's your
make
life coach,
some
bro.
kind of New Year's resolution.
My watch has
better
been
do it.
dead for 3 days, and since yours popped that up, I'm not going to charge mine yet. Like, I'm not ready for that.
You're not ready to be told what you got to do in 2020.
Yeah, no, like leave me alone. Give me a couple days. Let me settle in, and then
God
let me settle
damn.
in and see how this is going, and then we'll figure out what kind of
Yeah.
challenges.
yeah, nothing from my phone. It knows its place.
Yeah, that's
Right?
right.
Keep your mouth shut. Keep your digital mouth shut.
My phone didn't
My
say
watch
shit
is on
either.
the floor over here. I forgot about
There
that.
you go. That's where it should be, in the fucking garbage. There you go. That's brutal. January challenge. It's 1 minute after fucking.
It's like, yo, Christian, we got a call from a horse that you knew once upon a time.
Like, do they program that into every fucking Apple Watch? Every January 1st at midnight, send them a fucking feel shitty about yourself.
Tell them they need to do some shit.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like they'll just get like nastier and nastier as the years goes on. Like, sup, fat ass. Oh,
Right, like the year ends and like, oh, the first thing you hear from your watch as soon as the year ends is like, you definitely don't want to make this year the way you did the last one.
yeah. Don't fuck this
Like
shit
we looked
up.
at your stats. All you did was sit around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and imagine if it gets worse and worse. It's like, remember that movie Cat's Eye?
No.
It was
Never heard of it.
okay. Yeah, old horror movie, but it was a really weird movie. There was this one part that was about some cat versus a troll thing that was like trying to steal some girl's breath, and then there was another part of the
I
movie.
saw that. It was an 80s movie.
Yeah, and there was the other part of the movie was people trying to quit smoking, and they would get worse and worse if like they would catch you smoking, to where they'd be like cutting off your loved one's fingers or like electrocuting them and stuff to like get you to stop smoking. So
And the
Like,
cat,
what
when the little, or like people were sleeping, the cat would come right up to the human and start sucking the air out of its face, right?
well, the cat would give the breath back. The troll was stealing the girl's breath, and then the cat killed the troll and like gave her breath back. So the cat was the good
What
guy.
the
He was the hero of that story.
High as fuck.
That's insane. What a fucked up premise.
I want to say that was a Stephen King movie, wasn't it?
Probably.
Yeah. It had to have been.
Cat's
Happy New Year, Jane. I don't know what you've gotten yourself into at this point. Some weird fucking movie these guys watched. I don't know.
Yeah, 1985, Stephen King.
Okay, well there you go. It's called Cat's Eye.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's what's gonna happen with Christian's watch.
Stealing his breath.
It's gonna suck the soul out of me.
It's gonna fucking suck you into the watch,
like,
man.
Administering shocks that like get increasingly bad until like they knock you out. It's like, you didn't get in your steps today.
Oh,
Really, the next message is gonna be like, you really should rethink not getting the vaccine, Christian.
There will be consequences. Oh no.
It'll just flash random responses to your own thoughts. It's like, man, that's just like, no, you shouldn't.
I mean, I told you at the pharmacy they were like super gangster with the flu shot this year. Because I mean, I've been asked before at the pharmacy, are you interested in getting the flu shot? Have you guys ever been asked that at a pharmacy?
Yeah.
I've been asked that a whole bunch of times.
Well, they don't. They have signage. They don't like go outside.
I always answer the same. Like I've never had a flu shot, so I'm okay with them. I don't technically get flus, and I usually tell them I think I'm fine. Maybe next year I'll consider it. But this year, the pharmacist was like, "This year is different, Christian." Like she got mad.
Dudes come out like bouncers at a club and grab you on each arm.
She straight up told me this year is different, Christian, and she called me by my first name. I'm like, damn.
I don't even know who the fuck you are. What?
I had to tell her like, oh, okay, maybe I'll think about getting it then. Just she wouldn't be like, I don't know. They probably think I'm like,
that's when you say maybe I'll think about getting it, and you switch pharmacies because they're getting weird.
Yeah, a couple dudes block the door.
Just take your organs the next time you fall asleep. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Up here, they just have like signs.
Do any of you guys get flu shots?
Mm-mm.
I haven't before.
I don't.
I have. Yeah, I have.
I just get the normal stuff, like tetanus and all that crap. You know.
Yeah.
Never.
Do you get them consistently, Joe?
Yeah. Oh, well, I had for the last like 4 years.
I had to get it when I worked in healthcare, but as soon as I haven't had one, that's been 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't had one since then.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do flu shots, but I remember every time I used to get sick on tour, when I first started touring, every time I got sick, it was always like, oh, take an antibiotic. And I felt like, you know, when I started touring, I mean, we were doing like 200, 250 shows every year. So, and in different continents all the time and shit like that. So I was getting sick all the time. Every time we were traveling, I guess I was encountering like new flus, new strains of colds in other countries that, you know, weren't as prevalent in America. So it was always like, I was always getting prescribed antibiotics. And I noticed like after like 3 or 4 years of that shit, I was getting sick every time. And every time I kept getting a cold, the colds were getting worse. And then I eventually came to the realization, all right, I'm going to stop taking antibiotics, no more. So I stopped taking antibiotics, and it's been more than a decade since I really, you know, was prescribed any of them. But I feel like I don't get sick anymore after putting the antibiotics away and not taking them anymore, just dealing with the cold and letting your body get through it. But I guess when I was on tour at first, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to deal with this? I'm sick on the road. I need something. But really, it just was it made me get sick more, to be honest. I think it made my body, it depleted my own immune system, and my body didn't know how to get rid of the cold on its own. Kind of got used to needing the antibiotic to kill the rest of the germs. But now I feel like I don't really get sick that much. Even though I'm older, I guess you're supposed to get sick more when you get older because your immune system becomes depleted from having to have fought colds all your life or some shit like that. That's what they say.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I don't get sick very often myself.
But yeah, I don't anymore. I used to. Like when I first started traveling a lot with the band, and especially when I first started traveling, and then having to like ask doctors, you know, I'm getting sick all the time. What do I need to do? Oh, you need to take antibiotics when you get sick. And then I went into that whole cycle of like getting sick, taking antibiotics, getting sick, taking antibiotics, getting sick, and antibiotics. And then you just realize I'm getting sick all the fucking time. This shit ain't even working.
What's the point? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, probably because I mean it was killing all your like gut bacteria and all the good bacteria in your body, and you know, it's like, and then you had to pretty much rely on that to keep the other shit, you know, kind of out of your system.
Yeah, that's what they say, that it kills off like the good germs that you need in your body.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like washing your hands too much is a thing, right? Because you lose all that good bacteria.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and a lot of fucking doctors are saying that all this quarantine shit is just going to make our immune systems weaker because we're not, humans are used to trading germs with each other. It's just the way, it's how we live together in society where basically we trade germs. That's what we do. And everybody kind of builds their immune system based on somebody else's germ that your body wasn't used to. And now you have knowledge to that germ and your body knows how to be stronger or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But a lot of doctors are like, look, all the quarantine, not being near people, it's just going to make the viruses worse and it's going to make it easier for humans to get sick.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, think about it too with all the masks and stuff, because I mean, for one thing, you have less people going around snotting up doorknobs, but now you've got people wearing masks, so they can't really rub their nose and get all the snot all over their hand and then turn a doorknob and pass it on to somebody else. So, I mean, that's actually going to kind of block a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they say that hand sanitizer too is not that good. They say that overusing hand sanitizer is bad.
I think no matter what we use, we're kind of screwed because eventually the germs will get used to it, and then they will adapt too.
You know what's a disgusting fact? I don't know if it's 100% true, but I heard that every single bill, currency
like
bill,
a dollar bill,
has up to 600 particles of fecal matter on it.
Yeah, they're basically it's toilet paper that we share with people. That's pretty much what it is.
I've heard that too. That's
I don't know about the exact quantity, but yeah, definitely. I mean, even cell phones, sliding our fingers around on it, just smearing it around. Wash that shit off.
Shit off.
Wash that
yeah,
shit
but that's
off.
how we get. Huh?
Did you guys hear that?
That big bag.
Heard something.
The explosions.
I thought it was JB putting
They're doing what I was saying before. They're shooting fireworks into the air. They're like, shoot that firework in the air, and then they're taking out the shotgun. Shoot that firework!
Yeah, pop off those firecrackers so it'll mask the shotgun down. Nobody will know.
I thought that was JB setting his fucking phone down. That's crazy.
Fuck that thing. One of the crazy and sad is that in LA, hundreds, but definitely several dozen people have died on New Year's Eve because of bullets that came down. People that were shooting up, and the bullet somehow came down, and there have been several dozen people that have died in LA because of that shit. When I heard that, I was like, damn, we are some fucking caveman type shit. Like, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Kill ourselves like idiots.
Yeah, that's happened around here too. Like, probably not nearly as much as it has there from the sounds of it, but like there was like a whole crazy discussion over that, and people were like, well, that can't happen because if you shoot the bullet up and it comes straight back, it's like, well, they're not shooting it straight up, they're putting a little bit of an angle to it, so it's just arcing.
Yeah.
Like basically from 1 yard.
Yeah.
So
that's funny.
But guns are fun. I ain't gonna knock it, Shooting guns is fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the country, so had a shotgun when I was like 8 years old.
Dude, I'll tell you the most fucked up gun story. Like when I came to America, bro, this was visiting. I hadn't even moved here. But my parents had sent me over to come visit my grandmother. My grandmother was the first one to come to America. So I came for a summer. They sent me over here for like a month. And she was living with an Argentinian couple and somebody else, but it was in Queens, New York. And in Queens, New York, you have sometimes several families living together, or like one person from one family and a couple of people from another family. And I went there, and one of my first experiences in America was this Argentinian dude that had a BB gun. And one day he was like, Christian, come here. And he's like, he showed me the gun, and I'm like, whoa. At first I didn't really know what it did, but oh damn.
Totally.
I really didn't know what it did, right? And then he's like, oh, come here. And he showed me to it, and I was like kind of wowed by it. And then he's like, come on, let's go by the window. This motherfucker, he went to the window. There was a bunch of kids playing wiffle ball on the corner. He went to the window, cracked the shades open, put the fucking BB gun and shot one of the kids on the leg, bro. That was one of my first American experiences, bro. Was this Latin American Argentinian dude fucking shooting a kid. The kids must have been like 10 years old.
Did he sing the national anthem after?
The kid jumped like fucking 5 feet in the air, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit! And they stopped the game right away. They didn't know what the fuck was going on.
They sting, man. Good God. That's funny. Holy fuck. Like,
They got like those
They going
ballpark
wild.
fireworks going on over there.
I got the M80s out there.
They're going wild. Californians are like, fuck this shit.
We'll
That's
fucking
how it
fire.
sounded around here about an hour.
You can't do fireworks here for New Year's. It's illegal. Like,
Oh, it's illegal here too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's illegal here.
It's illegal here too. They don't give a shit.
Yeah, like 3
there's
hours
not-
ago.
They
it
have
was
like
that
enough
here.
to do. They don't have enough to do over here. You will get in trouble for it.
Well, there you go.
Cops will actually like come knocking on doors because of it.
Mm-hmm. They do it like there's that window of time before and after the 4th of July, and if you're outside of that and you're still doing it, they're coming to your house.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're not supposed to do it because we're all in like basically a big suburb. So if you shoot stuff off, it'll probably end up in somebody's yard. And we had a spot in our yard that was all burned up one year, and we've actually had some fireworks. I found some on our roof that had like sat up there and kind of like burned a little bit. So it's reasons like that. I'm not supposed to be shooting them off, but they do anyway.
Have any of you guys seen the footage from 4th of July of LA?
Mhm.
It's a drone footage from LA.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's how 4th of July is everywhere in the whole like LA area. And I've never seen anything like that until I moved to LA and actually was caught on the street driving to like my ex-wife had asked me to go. She was like, go to the store. We need this. So I went to the store like right at the time when the fireworks all started going off. Dude, I've never in my life experienced looking up into the sky and there's fireworks everywhere for like a 30-mile radius. Everywhere you could look is fireworks flaring up into the air. That shit was eye-opening, because in New York, like you guys are saying, in New York, you can't do that either.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you do that, they'll start arresting a lot of people. But maybe here, so many people do it
There's
that they
too
don't have
many.
enough of the force to like arrest everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, man,
They
it's
don't-
a much smaller scale of that here. Basically, is what they're doing. They can set it off. It's going off all over the city. There's only so many cops. They can only be in so many places. Most of them are just like whatever.
Oh, I hear people outside. Well, I mean, I kind of live rurally, but they're probably outside getting ready to set off some fireworks. Shit might get real loud. Oh no, they're leaving. They're leaving. But yeah, I like setting off fireworks. You know, I mean, it's fun as hell going to the Indian reservation, picking up a whole bunch of fireworks and taking them illegally somewhere that they're not going to see you too much.
Yeah.
But you got to do it. Like in Arizona, we did that a couple of times. But it's also illegal there too. You got to buy it at like the Indian reservation, and there you got to, just take it into town and make sure you don't get seen.
No. Yeah. Exactly.
But I'm too old to take risks like that now, man. That's the last thing you need. With all the shit going on, last thing you need is you fucking wind up in jail because you fucking set off a firework or something.
What are you doing for, bro? I fucking shot a Roman candle in the sky.
Right.
Hey.
You fucking get your ass kicked in jail right away. It'll be like, fuck that dude up. He's a puss.
Good.
He's on fireworks.
I mean, I beat the clerk to death and then stole the fucking fireworks.
Give yourself a
But,
little bit of cred there.
It's fine. That's fine.
Jail in Cali is fucked up too, dude. I mean, when they fucking threw me in the fucking county jail for like 32 hours, as soon as I got in there, within an hour, I was already getting drilled on like which side I'm on. They were like, "Oh, you're Latino? Which fucking Latino? You with the Latinos? These Latinos or these Latinos? Which one you got?" And you got to pick. I'm like, God damn! It's like fucking. They're like kids, you know.
Like, can I get some pamphlets so I can look it over, decide
Yeah, I want to
later?
know. I want to know which
Do you
one
have
has
any
the
information?
alphabet. Yeah. That's
But I
fucking
just stuck with the older dudes. I was like, the older dudes, they probably did some fucked up shit, and that's why they're in here. I'm just gonna stick with them. They were cool as hell to me.
Yeah.
Because the young dudes in jail are the ones that are like unpredictable and they could do something stupid, you know. But the older dudes are trying to, at least in county jail, they're trying to get out of there. If they're like already in state prison, I imagine they're fucking in there for God knows how long.
Yeah.
That was a fucking experience, bro. Getting thrown into jail.
Jesus.
Having the cops apologize to me afterwards when I got out was great, though. That felt great.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I can't believe a cop actually realized he did something wrong. If I, you know, it might have never. I swear to God, I felt like that was a little bit of. I felt a little guilty for like white privilege.
Yeah.
Like if I was dark, like I feel like if I was darker, maybe he wouldn't have apologized, or he would have not cared to like, you know, question the witness again that proved that I didn't do shit. You know, he might have just let it be whatever it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
But dude, being in jail, any of you guys ever had to spend a night in jail? Yes, Sarah. Yeah.
Nope, I've never been caught.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I
man.
slept a lot. It was,
Slept a lot.
and it was actually 15 years ago right now.
No shit.
Oh,
man.
no coincidence. It was New Year's.
Fuck. Damn, you was rowdy as hell on a New Year's Eve, and they were like, no.
And it was in Chicago, so it was not like my hometown jail or anything like that.
Fuck, that's gotta be a fucked up jail.
It
So
was not.
Did you have to join a
Not great.
team too?
I didn't. I mean, I didn't make it all the way. They made me sleep it off first, and then they came and got me out later.
They didn't put you into general population.
No, I didn't make it that far.
They threw my ass into general pop. They were like, look at this fucking long-haired fucking asshole. Throw him straight in there. They were like, go in.
Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
You know
quite
what?
that
I'll be
far.
honest with you. General population, even in a county jail, feels better than the singular cells that they had you in.
It was not. I hated that. Like that was the worst.
Yeah, that shit is like the worst is being in those cells. Like the intermediary where they don't know if they're gonna release you or they're gonna throw you into the jail with everybody else.
The only good thing was that the cop brought me McDonald's in the morning, and I was like, "Sweet, thanks, man."
That's awesome.
But
That's pretty. Yeah, that's nice.
yeah, I was like, "Oh, thank you," because it was in Chicago, but it was like a little bit further north, and so I guess maybe they just hadn't had as busy of a night or something. But they were cool. I didn't like it, but they were cool.
Yeah, those cells that they put you in are fucking terrible. It actually was better once they put me in with everybody else because at least you get to see people and or if you're in those cells with like two other people and then you got to deal with just two character personalities and you're better off just in a group of people where the attention isn't as focused on each person. You know?
Yeah, like they were. If I had been there like another hour or two, they would have moved me, but somebody got me out before then. Thankfully.
Yeah, no shit. That's crazy.
When they called my name, when I was in there, and they call your name when they have you in the you know the cell with everybody, there was like 120 people in the general population block that they had me in, and it was just a row of bunk beds.
Mhm.
But it was like 120, 150 people in that one block. And when they called my name, we were all laying down, and it was mad early, and they called my name over the PA. Christian Machado. I let out a scream, bro. I was like, whoa! I was so happy to be the fuck
I'm
out
out
of
of
here.
here.
I let out a scream.
I mean, you have to. I've never been to jail, but I got like, I had a fucking warrant for my arrest for like a ticket I forgot to pay. I had
Damn,
to like.
but in Canada, this fucking gangster with shit like that.
That's a gangster shit. Yeah, I had to go down to the police station and turn myself in. And the guy like was totally just like fucked with my mind because he's like, "Okay, so you understand you're under arrest, right?" I was like, and he took me down to cells. I was like, "Okay, what the fuck is happening?" He's like, "No, you're under arrest for this fucking ticket." So, okay. And he's like, all right, here's your court date. Get the hell out of here. I was like, oh my God, that's fucking stupid.
Was it that you got a speeding ticket and didn't go to court or something?
I forgot to renew my fucking driver's license.
Oof.
I forgot. Yeah. And then I forgot to fucking, I don't know. I'm a fucking space kid at half the time. So my first ticket I had, I got dinged fucking $500 for no registration because I was in between, like, I was like a day away from payday. My mortgage payment was coming out and the plates were coming out. And I was like, well, I got to pay the fucking mortgage. So I rolled the dice, right? But yeah, I got pulled over on my way back to work, like 2 blocks away from my house. I was like, fuck's sakes. So I forgot to pay that one because I didn't have the money to pay that one. Straight up, I was like, I don't fucking have the money for that right now. So that's fine. I'll sit there for a while. Then I was driving. I don't even know what the fuck I was driving. I was just driving home the one night. And this cop pulls me over. He's like, oh, you're driving without a license. I was like, oh, for fuck's sakes. Like, that's another $200 ticket. Like, oh, did you know there's a warrant for your arrest also? I was like, for fucking what? You know? So whatever. Just stupid shit. Just shit I forgot to fucking pay, but it's all good now. That was years ago. I still have to fucking go through the court thing. And the court process is hilarious because you go there and they do it all alphabetical. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to be here all fucking day. And
I always got screwed because my last name is M. I always
mine's W. Mine's fucking W, bro. I was there forever.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm an R. It's not. That's never fun.
It's not good.
I'm a B, so I'm in and out in no time.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. JP's like, yeah, I'll just go down to the courthouse. Give me like 20 minutes. It's fine.
You get in there and they're like, JB!
You're done. I had to
Hey,
go to
man,
court one.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, bro. I went to court one time for a noise complaint too, and I fucking won that shit. So that was cool. That was like my biggest.
What happened? They complained you had music too loud?
Yeah, I was having a fucking party, and we told my neighbors, we're like, look, it's gonna get fucking wild because it's a birthday thing, but we're good people. So if it's too loud, just here's my number. Call me and we'll shut the fuck up. We're not unreasonable. I told them I was sober. We told them we were sober. We went over to their house, knocked on their door before we started drinking. We said, listen, it's a birthday party. We know you guys just moved in here. Welcome. We're having a fucking shindig.
You didn't invite them to the party. That's the problem.
I told them if they wanted to come over with a kid, but they didn't want to. The houses were like jam fucking packed together. So like basically sharing a fucking eaves trough. And we've got like unnecessary speakers in this fucking house. Like we had full on fucking PA speakers in our basement for like light use, and it was just like fucking bins, man, like fucking massive fucking 80-pound fucking bins. We had 2 of them and like mixers and the whole fucking thing, just pumping tunes. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was the herd of fucking drunk assholes on the deck screaming songs at the top of their lungs with an acoustic guitar for no reason whatsoever.
And that could get loud because you could hear humans screaming for like fucking.
Yeah, it got loud. So we're sitting there, we're going for it, and we're hammered, we're loaded drunk. And next thing I see is this, like a couple of flashlights. I'm like, well, who the fuck is that walking up here now with this coming to party too late type thing? It's like, who the fuck are you? There's the fucking cops. There's like 4 of them. They're like, whose house is this? And I put my fucking hand up like a moron. My roommate fucking didn't. I was like, looking, I was like, really? Motherfucker. Me, I guess. You know, I had like a bag of dope in my pocket. This was before weed was legal up here, and I was all worried about that. I was like, I got a fucking bit of weed in my pants. Like, I'm going to the car. I guess they'll find it. Whatever. They didn't. It's fine. And they're like, so yeah, we have to give you a. They didn't give me a ticket. They gave me a citation right then and there to go to court. I was like, so what do I owe you? They're like, you just have to go to court. I was like, okay, I'll go to court then, I guess. Like,
No one to pay off the top on the spot and shit.
because if I could be charged up to $5,000 for a noise complaint up here, but I had to go to court.
You guys are gangsters. You guys are gangster with like fines on like cars and like weird little things like that. I saw a show of a guy that had like exotic cars. He was into exotic cars, and it was like they live in Canada, and they have like exotic cars that they drive around, and they constantly are talking about these fucked up tickets that they get and how expensive they are.
For their windows being too dark and shit.
Yeah, all sorts of little tiny regulations that I guess if you don't know could definitely get you into
or if your exhaust is too loud, or if it's not, or if your car isn't high enough off the ground, and shit like that. So yeah, bullshit like that, man. So I had to go to court, and as soon as I got in there, I'd sit on the fucking stand and everything for this fucking thing. I was like, what, did I fucking kill someone? Like I was fucking had a party, bro. Like, this is ridiculous. Hand on the Bible, the whole fucking nine. I'm sitting there, and like the neighbors, my accusers are there, and they're just like, they were so loud and rambunctious and blah 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 blah. I was like, oh my god, like I'm just devastated. This whole fucking family's life. Like, what the fuck? You know,
you destroyed the community.
I guess I did. I guess I just burnt shit down, you know? And then so the cop that wrote the ticket was there, and the judge says, like, did you have time to prepare like a fucking counter argument to defend yourself and this and that? I said, well, you know, sorry, like we weren't trying to be assholes or anything. Like I gave you my number to tell me to turn the shit down. You didn't call me. I got my phone. You know, you didn't text me, whatever. And so they said, well, do you want to talk to the officer that wrote the ticket? I'm like, yes, I do. And so the officer came to the stand, and they're like, do you have any questions? I said, yeah, I just have one fucking question. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, when you pulled up, how loud was it? And she said, 10 being the loudest? And I said, whatever you want. Yes, 10 being the loudest. That was about a 3. I said, okay. No further questions, Your Honor. Like, it's like, okay, well, doesn't sound that loud, so you just got to pay your $50 for being in court. It's like, fuck you.
Oh, so they just charge you a court fee. They didn't give you a fine.
A court fee, but not a fine or nothing like that. Because I was like, fuck, I would pay like $5,000 because these people are like fucking crying about this party. Like, holy shit. Stupid. Fucking roommates waiting in the lobby like a hero too, eh? Just, hey, bro. I was like, yeah, fuck, get in here. It's your house too. It's your fucking birthday.
But it's that kind of shit, you know, that you guys are having to deal with all these extra regulations that as Americans we're like, no, fuck that. The Constitution doesn't say that. No. Unless it's in the Constitution, you can't fucking make me not do that. But the plus side is that because the government is keeping an eye on everything so much in situations like the pandemic, they came in and monetarily compensated everybody and made sure everybody had money or health care. But the downside would be you have to live within the constraints of how they need you to live, or else they won't give you the help.
There's the road, for sure.
Yeah, I live in Virginia, so it's a Commonwealth, so it's like kind of like the worst of all of it.
What does that mean?
Well, just like, you know, I don't know. It's just a kind of like a weird, like slightly different way of governing. I don't quite understand it, honestly. There's a couple states that are Commonwealths, and their laws usually differ from all the surrounding states pretty significantly. Like other states might legalize stuff faster, where, you know, Virginia, it could be like 15 years behind.
Oh, shit.
But they were until a few years ago, Virginia was one of the states that was like imposed hardship state when it came to like traffic violations and stuff. Like, say you got a little bit of a speeding ticket and then you didn't pay it, so then you got some more fines slapped on, and then you get your license suspended, and then you couldn't be driving anywhere, and then you get pulled over for driving, and you get more fines, and then you can't pay the fines, so then you're doing weekends in jail, and then you're getting more fines added on top of it. And it got so bad that like I think it was about 2-3 years ago, they made it so there's like a few 100,000 people are just getting their licenses back and getting all their fines dismissed, and there's even lawsuits against the state now for having such imposed hardships on everybody. Like, just like literally, and the thing was too, it's like you don't pay your fines, so then now they're garnishing your wages. You can't drive because everything's suspended, and then you owe all this money, so you can't go anywhere and work, and like, it's just, and then if you do get a job, like all of a sudden all your money's getting garnished anyway, so you can't really live. It was bad. But like, like I said, a few years ago they finally corrected that. So, but I have a couple friends that I saw them go through that, and it was really bad. They went from a couple, like, maybe a few $100s in fines to all of a sudden, $5,000, $6,000 in fines that got piled up over like 5-6 year period, and then they're doing jail time and stuff.
The weird thing is in LA they put regulation in against that. So sorry, not with moving violations, but with parking tickets, they put regulation that limits what you could actually continue to fine someone for not making the payment. So if like the ticket is $75, I think the limit is $250. Like, no matter whether it's 10 years down the road or a year down the road. Yeah, they can only take it up to $250. It probably came from constituents being like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I forgot to pay one ticket and now it's $2,000," because that is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
One parking ticket in the 70s. Come on, it was the 70s.
Really, like I double parked for 5 minutes, got a ticket, and then it's $5,000. That is ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
It's bullshit. That's crazy. Anything they can do to
well,
get
it
money.
depends. But would you trade that off for, if a pandemic hits, you're going to get $2,000 a month from the government as long as the pandemic lasts?
$2,000 a month, as long as the pandemic lasts. I mean, I'll pay a fucking parking ticket.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But a one-time,
at least you can still live within. And you could, and if you're smart enough, you could be like, well, I know not to do that. I know that I'm not going to double park because they're going to give me some fucking ticket.
Yeah.
And I don't want to deal with that kind of bullshit. I think that humans are good with living within certain constraints.
Yeah, if they're reasonable, right?
Yeah.
Right. They
But
have
then
to be.
but then there's some that just deem shit as being unreasonable. And it's like, well, it's really not.
Yeah. There are certain things that, seem unreasonable to be against them or something like that. Yeah.
But even like paying taxes and shit, like that's fine. Like, pay your fucking taxes. If it's going to what it's supposed to be used for, pay it. Who gives a shit?
I think that in the U.S. they have such a like anti-tax movement from the conservative side because the conservative side has guns, so they could technically complain about it. They could like complain about it and be like, yeah, I'll say whatever I want because I have guns. Like, I could protect myself. You're not going to scare me. Basically, I think that's what it is.
That's a good point.
So I guess the best way with the Commonwealth is it's the name itself is kind of what it is, or what it's supposed to be, for the good of everybody, for the, general welfare, general well-being. It's kind of like its own mini republic within a republic. But it's the ideologies kind of like weigh in on that because what is commonly good for everybody, right? Some people think, well, stricter law is, more prohibition, and so things will go that way, like for the general good of everybody. So it's like, it's not necessarily like we're getting universal health care or anything like beneficial for us. It's more just certain, like how they treat the laws, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you something. People in certain areas of the country that are expensive to live in, like New York, if you don't have good health insurance in New York and something happens to you, you better have thousands of dollars saved in the bank, because you're about to be hit with the most ridiculous health care. If you have to go to the emergency room or have to have some kind of like emergency appendicitis or some kind of knee surgery because you fucked yourself up or anything like that, you better get ready to pay medical bills for the rest of your life, most likely.
Oh yeah, or file bankruptcy or something.
Mhm.
And a lot of people have to fall to that, you know, which then just creates a deeper issue in the system, because then, you know, the organization can't claim the profit as they fairly could, you know. But the thing is that the system, if you hear some of the Nixon tapes on how the medical system was set up in America, it was all set up to try to make the companies grow, to have very wealthy companies. And you know, they at first believed that by growing these companies, then they ultimately could offer coverage to everybody, and everybody would have, you know, the country would be well enough where everybody buys their own coverage.
Right.
But I mean, the way that I experienced healthcare in New York, dude, it's like you better fucking, you either have amazing health coverage, or you're gonna have to pay for your shit, or they're gonna bill you for the rest of your life, or let's say if you're extremely poor, if you're really truly living almost at poverty level, they have these things called charity care.
Okay.
And charity care is similar to applying for like Medicare or something like that, but it's the local community that puts in money into pools to help people get medical care that don't. This is like a private thing that's done. It's not a government thing. So it's basically money from the community. I remember when I was like 19 or something, I fucked up my knee and I had to apply for charity care for one of the MRIs, that X-rays or something that I just couldn't afford this one procedure. And that's how they basically run it, on a procedural basis. You know, like if you need an X-ray, you may be able to apply for the charity care for the X-ray or for the surgery. But man, I mean, I've gotten stuck with some fucking bills that you're like, Jesus Christ, I went to the fucking emergency room and I was there for like 2 hours. Why am I getting a $3,000 bill?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we moved here, my mom being terrified of having to take me to a hospital or a doctor, because she knew, she was told, like, oh no. And we were used to in where we lived. I mean, obviously, you know, at the time, Venezuela was doing awesome, but where we lived, if you had something bad wrong with you, there were public hospitals. You could go to any public hospital and they had to take care of you. But then when we came here, dude, my mom was like, yo, you better shut the fuck up if you're in pain. Just fucking go in your room and just breathe hard.
Yeah, walk it off.
I remember one time I dropped a weight, like a 5-pound weight on my big toe, and I was fucking crying. I mean, like fucking complaining about it the whole day. My mom probably fucking couldn't deal with me. And and in my head, I was like, if I complain enough, she'll take me to the hospital. Because that's what I was used to in Venezuela, you know? But my mom was like, shut the fuck up. You take that fucked up big toe of yours in your room and you be quiet.
Take that fucked up big toe of yours.
She's like, well, you can walk, all right, tape it up and get out of my face.
Right. That's like the one thing, even with like good insurance, you still have insane medical bills if something happens. Like, I threaten my kids all the time. I'm like, if one of you hit your head on those bricks, like, I'm done. Like, I'm not taking you. Like, I'm not doing this again. We've got, like, my 4-year-old broke his collarbone 2 years ago, like, just playing. And then my daughter, like, busted the back of her head open once. Like, I threaten my kids all the time. I am not fucking taking you to the hospital. If you cut your head open, you're bleeding out. Like, I'm done with y'all.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's for real. Because not just even, like, the extra cost of the insurance saying, we can cover this, but not that, but also the deductible. Like if something happens to your kid and your deductible is $1,500 before the insurance pays anything, you just basically took a $1,500 loss just so they could stitch your kid.
Mm-hmm.
Just so they could put a couple stitches in a kid's elbow or something, whatever. I mean, it is crazy, and that's what's scary as hell, man. I mean, in California, it's they're a little bit more. They lean a little bit more left, so they offer people, the chance to apply for healthcare if they need it, and they have really good plans here, dude. I mean, where I live, it's a little bit more of a rural county, but it's fucking killer medical insurance. I mean, they took care of me incredibly, and it's cheap. I didn't have to pay much.
That's awesome.
Nick's paid a cent for surgery.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, but when I was a kid, like that whole mentality of like, oh, if you get hurt, then you just got to deal with it. Like, I mean, I saw my grandparents go into denial because I was raised by my grandparents, but like I ended up breaking my leg when I was about 11, 12 years old, and it was like dead center of my shin, and it would bend at like 90 degrees. But for like 8 hours, my granddad would just like keep having me try to walk it off. I was like, dude, it's bending at 90 degrees. He's like, no, it's just bruised. It can't be broken. It just can't be broken. It's just bruised. It's just like, it's crazy like that. Huh?
You broke your calf?
Well, it was my shin. It was my tibia and fibia. The whole shin. There's like two shin. There's like the main shin bone, and then there's like another like secondary bone. I broke those. So it was like, like if I stuck my foot straight out, my leg would just like bend, like, like right in the middle of my shin.
Jesus Christ.
And, they had me like trying to walk it off because it was like, they just did not like want to have to deal with the whole having to go to the hospital and pay for all that. Because it was just like the thought of it was just terrifying.
I had a couple situations like that, dude, just like that.
Yeah.
And I don't blame the parents either. It's not the parents' fault. Parents should fucking be.
I mean, they're freaking out.
Yeah, parents
should
be able to feel at ease. Like, hey, if something happened to my kid, I can take my kid to a doctor that's gonna not try to fucking make this a profitable experience. I just need to know my kid is okay. It is fucked. I mean, I had a similar experience. I dislocated my knee, but I was already a little older. I was 18 or 19 when I dislocated my knee, and I didn't go to the hospital till the next day. But thinking similarly, like what your parents told, like what your grandparents told you, my stepfather and my mom were like, well, maybe it'll be okay, because my knee had popped out and I popped it back in, but it was back in place. But when you dislocate your knee, like your whole entire knee swells up, and they gotta fucking drain the blood from it, and they gotta do the whole thing. That all happened overnight, but the whole time they were like, oh, maybe you'll be okay, and it's in place now. But the next day I woke up, I couldn't even move my leg. I had a fucking ball like that. It was black. My knee was just black.
Yikes.
But I didn't break no bones, thank God. So I didn't have to have no surgery. Did you have to have a surgery or something like that?
No, I didn't have to have a surgery, luckily. I went in, I got x-rayed, and then they just, like kind of made sure it was all in place and then put it in a cast. And
Gross.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when I took off my leg cast for my knee dislocation, my fucking leg was like this, and the other one was like a fat.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
My one right leg was like normal leg with muscle on it, and the other leg was like this.
It's a stick. Oh yeah, I remember that too with mine, man. It was insane because I had the full leg cast at first. So for like the first I think it was like 6 weeks or something. It was on crutches. I didn't move that one, and then I got the half cast, and yeah, it was just like a stick in the half cast, and then a normal leg. And actually, my other leg was probably actually bigger than normal because it was bearing all the weight the whole time. So it looked even more weird.
God, I hated that thing too, bro. It just stank. Just having stank, dude.
Had that like ear cheese smell.
It's like you want to shower, but when you got this fucking big ass thing on your leg and like you have to tie it up in bags, you almost like are like, I don't even want to get in the fucking tub because this fucking thing's gonna get wet. It's gonna stink. It's fucking mold. It's by the time they got that thing off, I was like celebration mode, bro. I fucking hated having that cast on. Oh my God.
The first thing is having a good scratch, just spend like 20 minutes like just scratching off about 4 layers of skin. Just,
the itchiness was out of control.
Fuck, man. That's hilarious.
but I never like broke like a bone. You know,
So
it
it's
was a
super
dislocation.
sprayed.
I dislocated my shoulder too. I got like tendon issues, but I don't know. My bones are strong, but tendons are fucked up or something. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Oh man, I've had all kinds of
The
broken.
bone?
I've
Joe,
had.
you see the bone?
Me?
Like I've just like broken my nose or my foot, like shit
Yeah,
they can't
my
do anything
nose.
about.
You broke your foot where?
Just like it hit like right on the big toe and then right above it, so it just fractured the bone right there. Like I didn't even go. Like I went and got X-rayed, and they were like, "We're gonna have to." I was like, "Nope, bye." It's like
How did you heal? Did you just let it heal naturally?
I just like they gave me crutches and I just took off. It wasn't like anything was out of place or anything like that. So it's like you're not putting a cast on that. Like give me a boot or something, but
So you like probably like fractured the bone, but it was still
Yeah.
in place where it needed to be.
yeah, it wasn't like, horribly disfigured or anything. It just looked gross for a few weeks.
Cut it off.
No, like the worst thing I've ever done was dislocate my shoulder. And when I did it, it separated the AC joint and the shoulder blade and the shoulder out of the socket.
Jesus.
That one was not fun.
Yo, shoulder dislocations are fucked up. My shoulder used to dislocate a lot. I had to do a lot of like weight training and like going to the gym a lot in order to get the muscle around to avoid the surgery. But the doctors were all like, "You need the surgery." And then people that had gotten the surgery were like, "Don't fucking get the surgery. Don't
You
fucking
don't
get
want
the
the
surgery."
surgery.
Like mine, I did it like in the middle of like training for competitions and stuff like that. So we're out there working out every day. And I had like 4 more weeks before the competition season was over, and I just worked through it. And then I went, and my chiropractor was really mad, but he put it back in place and he's like, "You don't need surgery, you're fine." I was like, I had to spend like 5 months out of the gym after it, but
It's one of those things where I don't know. I got lucky. I probably got lucky because I'm sure some people can't. If you fucked it up enough and the dislocation was bad enough, maybe you can't really get everything back to place.
Yeah.
You know. And I know my stepfather had to have the 5-point pinhole surgery into his shoulder, and he said that fucking recovery was fucked because he had to sleep sitting up for like 6 weeks. Because they have to brace your arm and your shoulder a certain way, and they can't have you lean back because it opens up
Pushes the shit out of you.
Yeah, my uncle had that surgery.
I heard that recovery is fucked, dude.
Yeah, man, I remember him talking about just like having to sit there all the time, sleeping in the chair.
Well, they said if I didn't work out as much as I did, that I probably would have had to have surgery, but my muscles were already so developed around it that they were just able to push everything back together.
Yeah. Dude, I remember one of the first times I dislocated my shoulder. I might have told the story, but it was on a New York City subway. Oh, look, Nick said she broke her face. Oh, I think I saw a picture of that. That shit didn't look good.
It doesn't sound good.
No. But I dislocated my shoulder on the New York City subway holding the thing up. It was packed full of people, and the subway like jerked, like it made it like a jerk stop, and my shoulder just popped out of place, and I let out a scream. I was like, "Ah!" And I popped it back in.
Damn.
Your poor fragile tendons. Jesus Christ. Like, that's fucking nuts.
It must have been a manufacturing error.
Just, look out, Christian. Oh, God.
I've had like 8 cracked ribs total, probably in my life.
What?
Well, I mean, I've
the
martial
same one
arts
8 times or 8?
No, it's like different ones, different times. Like doing martial arts, sparring. Somebody catches me like with a side kick the wrong way, and I got 2 cracked ribs. Somebody else gets me with a good shin one on the ribs, cracks a couple ribs. Just a straight up knuckle punch that just like penetrated into a rib. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Damn, man. I hope you got health coverage. I hope you got medical insurance.
Yeah, well, actually, none of that stuff I ever went to the doctor for. Like the only broken bones I've been to the doctor for were my leg and when I broke my hand. Like
What
when I
would
broke
happen
my
if you
hand,
went? What would happen if
like,
you took medical insurance?
knuckle was like back here. Let's see if I can turn it. Yeah, when I this knuckle was like back here.
Oh,
So yeah, it was like over here. So I had to get that reset and get that fixed.
But do medical insurance companies though have like a clause that says like if you intentionally fucked yourself up, they're not responsible for the entire bill? I think they have like some fucked up clause.
Oh, they have. I mean, there's all kinds of clauses, and it depends on the plan. Like some,
Mhm.
there's kind of whatever, but I mean, yeah, I think it depends on the plan, really.
Usually, like your health insurance, they're not all over you like that, but like life
Life
insurance
insurance, sorry.
policies and stuff, they're really.
Oh, dude, there was one life insurance
Like they
policy
don't
I was
question
looking
you
at.
too much, like why you broke your leg or why you broke your finger.
Mhm.
They don't interrogate
It
you
just,
about it, nothing like that.
you know, it's like what happened with your hand. Oh, I had some stuff in the garage fall on it and break it. That's why it's driven
Are you
backwards
willing
the way
to
it
take a lie detector test, sir?
is. Well, lie detectors are pseudoscience that even the original inventors said were pseudoscience. So
sir,
Oh,
yes
look
or
that's
no,
my
at
defense.
you! Look
sir?
at
Yes or
you!
no, sir?
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, like even in Virginia, lie detectors aren't admissible as evidence in court. So it's like whatever.
Oh, there you go.
That's right.
Yeah, no,
I've done my research, so I know who I can lie to.
that's just like lawyer pressure. They use it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they get you in there sweating, and then you're like, "Fine, I did it. I did everything. Just stop."
There's that show on Netflix a while ago about
Talking
those
about lie detectors,
confession tapes.
has anybody watched The People versus OJ on Netflix yet?
Oh yeah, I did watch that.
I haven't seen that.
I started it and fell asleep, and so now I need to like go back and.
It's
Check
good once it gets going. And I mean, everybody knows what happened, but there's a lot of the details in there that make you go, holy fucking shit. He definitely did it, man.
Well, he wrote a book about it afterwards. He's like, "Oh, well, I didn't do it, but if I
If
did,
I were to
this is
get away.
exactly yeah, this is exactly how I would have done it if I did do it, but I didn't."
Yeah, that one interview he did was fucking cringe too. Where he's like talking about the book, but he's like playing it out as if, you know, he had killed her. I mean, that's some cringy ass shit.
Yeah.
The fucked up thing that I noticed about, and I don't want to ruin it if you guys are watching it, but the one aspect that's interesting to observe was, I forgot which Kardashian was part of his legal team. One of the
Robert.
Robert Kardashian was part of his legal team, but they were really good friends before all of this occurred. Like their families were friends.
Oh, that's
They had
right.
dinner together, their kids played together. So the fucked up thing to observe was that Robert at first completely believed OJ and really felt like he was set up or there's no way he couldn't have done it. And even though he was helping him defend himself to get off of a murder, he had to wind up accepting that that's what he was doing. And in the end, he had like this breakdown where he wanted no connection with OJ ever again, but he was the one responsible for getting him off.
And I also kind of wonder, like, all right, so with OJ, how much of that was all of the blows he took to his head playing football? You know, like, did that change him
The
as a
CTE
person, that
thing.
make him some kind of psychopath or sociopath?
Probably did. The thing that did him in that showed him in the light as a monster was, 62 domestic violence calls to the police.
Right.
I mean, and recordings of him like trying to beat her up. There's like no way of explaining any of that he did. But sure, could he have been this fucked up individual because his head is constantly fucking concussioning?
1000%.
Oh yeah, because there was some story I was reading a while back, and it was about this guy who was, normal, loving guy, had a great relationship with his family, loved his kids, and he got into a car accident, and he smacked his head on the steering wheel, and it basically lobotomized him. So from that point on, he like felt no love or connection toward his family in any way. Like they were just some other people that he didn't care about. and it was like
I truly believe
Yeah.
that there's people in society, and you know what, man, going to family court has made me see things, in people that make you go, can you even care or love about anything?
Mhm.
Like, do you even like realize what you're doing? It makes you see people do that. Not even in my situation, but like having gone there, sit there, see what other people are going through, how they're reacting with each other, how the judges, counter reacting to what they're saying and everything. It makes you realize that there's a lot of people in society that I don't think can connect with pain of other people. Like if
Yeah.
somebody else is going through pain,
yeah,
I
no
don't know if they
empathy.
can connect with it.
It was I think it was like 6% of all people are either sociopathic or psychopathic. So like
Only
6% of the population.
Hmm.
So, and they have no ability to empathize.
That's insane.
Damn, that's a pretty big percentage if you think about it.
Mhm.
Yes,
That's almost close to 1 in 10. It's not that far from 1 in 10 people. And I mean, you meet 10 people, if you go to a store, you could, fuck, man.
10 people in the first 5 seconds.
The human condition is weird, huh?
It is, man. Well, fuck, guys. This was fun tonight. I enjoyed talking to you. Time is
Yeah, man, we brought in the new year the right way. At least I feel like, talking
I
to
think so.
friends and
Yep.
talking about good shit. Last year I slept through the new year, and that
Yeah.
was shit as hell. So,
This was better than sleeping through the new year, but
fuck yeah.
that was good. Thank you
I'm glad
again.
to be here. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
Dave. We'll do it again.
Talk to y'all.
We'll do it again sometime. We'll figure it out when the schedules align and all that. We'll do it again. Be damn. Well, thank you, Sarah, for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead, Christian.
I was like, all right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Done.
I think I'm gonna work on my website a little bit more.
Good for you, JB.
Yeah, get some stuff done.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right, good night, Sarah. Good night, Christian. Good night, Limbo.
All right.
Good
Team.
night.
Later, y'all.
Bye.
Later, guys. Peace out.